around Mondello Park is ready for action. The tension's building. The road to the championship begins.
Drivers putting everything on the line through every transition.
It's going to be Conor Shanahan taking the win, the first place winner.
Why stop now? I was just getting started. Level up, start my engine and I rev it up. Once I get the green light, gotta go, let them know they better step on up. Yeah, dog, I'm in that zone. While I grind hard while you at home. You talk about it, but I be about it, cause you won't talk no backbone. Strap in, buckle up. I'm on a 10, I'm on a level 10. I wanna win, then I wanna win again. You thought I was done? I'm hoping it never ends. If you wanna run, then I'm on a level 10.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 3 of Red Bull Drift Masters 2026 here live from County Kildare, Ireland for Mondello Park Race Circuit. My name is Ian Waddington. I'm joined alongside my very good friend, Jacob Gettins. Jacob, once again, welcome back to Ireland. Welcome back to the hot seat and welcome back to a stacked top 16 after an incredible top 32.
It's a storybook top 32. It's upsets, it's incredible situations and stories, athletes climbing through the ranks, and it's everything that you want in a drift event. And the weather, knock on wood, is stunning.
Yeah, it certainly is stunning, and the crowds have come out this weekend to fill the grandstands and the fences all the way around Mondello Park that we have so come accustomed to seeing. The passionate Irish drift fans are here in attendance to witness history once again at Drift Masters Mondello Park, the home, the heart of Irish motorsport. And as you can see, the big car show going down there on in the background, and plenty of people in the paddock eagerly awaiting to see who it will be standing on the top step of the podium. But how did we get here? How did we get to Mondello Park? Well, the story of the championship kicked off in Rome in Italy just a few months ago, where Conor Shanahan took the win. Then we jumped to Madrid in Spain, where Peter took the win. We're here in Mondello Park. We'll find out our winner this afternoon before we jump over to round 4 in Finland. Then it's Riga, baby, for Latvia. Then we head to the Iron City, Ferropolis in Germany, before we go to Warsaw in Poland, to the Pegay Narodowe. All roads lead to the Red Bull Drift Masters finale at Warsaw in Poland, where we go under the lights inside the stadium in front of 55,000 people. But how did we get here to top 16? Well, this is how it all unravelled this afternoon, or this earlier on today, when we see Conor Shanahan make a huge mistake in the lead run of his top 32 battle against Dave Egan, and understeered off the track, knocked himself out of battle.
Yeah, and then a scrappy run there in the chase. I mean, you see there Conor talking about the transition being a little bit slower. We did catch up with Dave on that. He said, yeah, it was a little bit slow in the transition, but still got it done. And just an incredible battle between these two, and ultimately led to Dave getting his first top 16 and cementing himself in his place in the history books of Drift Masters. If there was any doubt about him being here, I think everyone's a little bit quieter now.
Yeah, and it was all glory for Team Drift Games earlier on today, where we see Conor Falvey take down Peter Wienzek in that top 32, blew the rear quarter clean off the car, and Wienzek doing everything he could to try and seal the deal. But it was earlier on in the run, on initiation, where Wienzek hit the curb, understeered the car, and lost a whole load of ground, and really handed the win to the young Irish superstar.
Yeah, and if you're keeping track of the season standings at home, well, there is a massive mix-up. Our top 2 are now sequestered to the sidelines and promoted to spectators, I like to say, hanging out, watching the rest of their competitors move on, and this is going to shake up the point standing for sure. Another big win there for Mika Keski-Korpi, coming off a podium from our previous round, and he'll be facing Conor Falvey, taking out another hometown hero in Alan Hines, who just couldn't quite put it together this weekend, unfortunately, but Mika is he's on a heater. He's got all the momentum in the world, and man, we'll see how far it takes him.
Yeah, certainly so, and he was very nervous going into that battle against Alan Hines, but you see what it meant for him as the arms went up in the air, and now he faces another Irishman, as we see another Irishman take down an Egyptian, and it was James Dean taking down Karim Hani. Unfortunately, Karim Hani deemed unable to continue in competition. The exhaust on the back of that BMW, that 2JZ BMW falling off, and our start line Marshall Martin having to disqualify him from competition. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. He would have been in the lead position. We didn't want to risk firing the exhaust off and into the face of James Dean or that beautiful Mustang.
Yeah, just a pure safety thing, but it is what it is. And really, I mean, it's James has got the most to win right now in the point standings. Him and Jack and Mika, all eyes on their standings. But this is how it plays out for top 16.
Yeah, it certainly does. As you said earlier on, it's Ace there to take on Dave Egan. And we've got some big battles coming up. One that I picked out, Laurie Heinemann versus Nasser Al-Habali. Two guys that have never gone head-to-head in competition, but two guys that look really on form this weekend, Jacob.
Yeah, they look incredible. And Larry's engine, knock on wood, has been good. Nasser's just on a heater once again. Another great battle is going to be our final one there, wrapping up our top 16, and that is of Mika Keskikorpi, Connor Falvey, as we talked about. They have so much momentum. And when you get that in drifting in any sport, when you have that confidence, you can bring out these masterful performances, and I expect to see that between these two competitors. This was our top 16 opening ceremonies a little bit earlier on, and what a great time it was.
Yeah, it was a very good time. We got all of those Red Bull BMW Minis out onto circuit. One of them, not like the other ones though, because it is a custom-built Cusco racing drift car, and we see they're doing some drift demos down there, as well as our Red Bull Racing, Ampol Racing Ford Mustang down there, doing a few donuts and putting on a bit of a show for the guys here in attendance at Mondello Park.
Yeah, great time. Getting some donuts in early from some cars you just wouldn't expect it from. And looks like our slow-mo guy, Adi, just not taking any time off. I don't know when he goes for lunch.
No, he had his lunch early so he could get out there and get those beautiful shots for us. And once again, a massive thank you to all of our Red Bull TV crew for getting all of these stunning shots this weekend. And then we brought all of our drivers down in front of the packed-out grandstands here at Mondello Park, where they all showed their appreciation for not only the hometown heroes, but also the guys that they love to support. Drivers like Laurie Heinemann, Mika Keskikorpi, Benedict Sherpa, they all got the biggest of cheers when their name was called out.
Yeah, it's great to see new superstars in the making. We've got the OGs, I mean, the GOAT, the greatest of all time there, and very quickly rising driver in the ranks and in the hearts. Chase Binet, another competitor, really coming to his own here at one of the most difficult tracks we have on circuit. Probably the biggest hometown hero right now. I mean, the face of the Shanahans left in competition.
Yeah, certainly so. And those guys made
This corner is the win and loss of many battles as we go into heavy competition when we start to add the grip. So this is possibly one of the hardest corners on the championship calendar. So here we downshift back to third gear into outer zone 4. This is a long sweeping corner. You have to get right to the white line, fill it fully, go back across the track, transition to outer zone 5. Big commitment transition back towards outer zone 6, onto the wall, quick touch of the handbrake. Follow the arc all the way to the finish line, passing the last wall, and job done. So that's it for the track preview, one of the most exciting, most difficult tracks in the calendar.
Well, there we go. That is how you lay down the perfect qualifying run, or lead run here at Mondello Park in County Kildare. But outside zone 3, Jacob, was a point that we kept pointing out yesterday and today has been a sticking point for most of us, on most of our drivers saying not the easiest point on the track to get through. Right there on the edge of the circuit and on the grass. If you get it wrong, as we see yesterday with Enver Haskasat, it goes wrong real quick.
Yeah, it really does. Just being a little bit off there. Now, he unfortunately had a GB going into it, which means that wheel turned into a shovel and kind of shot him up in the air. But if things go well, you have an incredible run through the rest of it. If things go wrong, well, this is the ride that you get to be on. It's not a fun one, and no one wants to be there. Now, thankfully, Enver was all right. We did take him away in the bus just to be sure, but he did come out for his second run, and thankfully everything was all right with him. But yeah, zone 3, it really is make or break for this entire run.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we spoke about the initiation of how tricky that is, but I think zone 3 will be a spot to look for. Well, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because it's time for top 16. Well, no messing around here at Drift Masters. We are right on the line and right ready to rock and roll because we have a big battle straight away. Dave Egan, first ever time winning a battle here at Drift Masters. He sits on the line full of confidence because he said Ite Seda hasn't really had a stroke of luck in 2026, but now could the young gun be feeling a little bit more confident against a man that hasn't really proven himself yet at Drift Masters?
Yeah, you'll see how it goes. 23-year age gap between the two.
Wow.
I mean, Dave's got a full life in between of experience in between him and Ite, but it's going to be a tough battle either way. Both of them very, very excited to be in top 16, and let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, let's see how it plays out. Both guys off the line and through the gears. Egan, you can see they're creeping off the line, waiting for Ite to slam through the gears in that BMW. Both two JJs as they fire in. Egan across the back bumper of Ite Seda. Oh, and Egan washes off the track. Ite Seda fires that car into outside zone 4. Stays on the throttle and keeps that car going. He looks for the transition to 5. We see Dave Egan then pop through, smoke in the background at outside zone 4, and this looks like it could be 1 foot into the Great A for Ite Seda.
Oh man, we'll have to see.
Yeah,
we'll have to see at the replay what all went wrong there for Dave. He's looking around a little bit, but some disappointment in his face. I don't know what he's looking over for. But he gets the initiation done. Looks like it just never lights off again. That is really, really strange. I can't remember. Dave doesn't have his nitrous tank on that side, does he?
I'm not sure if Dave runs nitrous in that Supra.
Oh, right.
I don't think it did.
Yeah, it just never lit off.
No.
So really, really weird situation there for Dave. Now the car goes just fine. Might be able to see here what goes on. That's a handbrake.
This is outside zone 4, yeah.
Yeah, so he's just kind of continuing on in that run. The incident would have happened a little bit earlier on, but Ite out front. It's just get around the lap at this point. Now he still has to put down a solid lead run. You know, it's not like it's a free pass when the chase car has a problem behind you. You still got to lay down a run because all things considered, if we swap around, Ite has a problem.
I just want to say, we see some absolute fireworks in the top 32, and I'm looking at the judges' replay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never joined us before, where have you been?
Yeah.
For a start, and we Laurie Heinen now getting ready, jumping into that car. Me and Jacob also do not have just the screen that you guys see, the program feed that you guys see. We also have a judges' monitor with us that we can see every single bit of, and the judges are replaying the initiation.
Yeah, replaying it quite a lot.
A lot.
I just saw Ite coming through 2 and 3. We'll get to that in a little bit.
We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll see how this plays out. Dave Egan back on the line in that lead position. It is a tale of two halves, so we're going to find out how this plays out. Ite Seda now in that chase position. Maybe feels like he has got 1 foot in that Great 8, but it's not all over yet until it's over as they fire through the gears. Egan starts to blow the tyres off the back of that Supra as he gets it to angle, fires in. Egan on a steady line. Nice initiation from Dave Egan as he drops to outside zone 3. Little handbrake drag as he gets that car set up for outside zone 4, goes wide but keeps it on the circuit. Ite Seda jumps into formation, fires it up onto the door of the A90 Supra as Egan puts it wide onto outside zone 6, stands on the throttle, fires the back end towards the wall on the final outside zone and across the line.
God, it hurts just that much more because Dave put down a really, really solid lead run there, and yeah, that kind of makes the incomplete on the first one even harder to swallow, but does a decent job there through the first outside zone, misses that initiation line just a little bit, but now coming through 4, he's really deep through there. I mean, I think he's got one wheel off through a good chunk of it, so for Dave, tough go. Not entirely sure what else is going on. I mean, the upside with Dave is he's going to tell you the truth. It's exactly what happened. If it was mechanical, if it was a driver error, what was going on. But he's making his way through the rest of the track. He's got to get a chase done. He can't have an inactive chase. He still has to show up. And he does. He does exactly what he needs to do. He's there. He gets into the pocket a little bit later on and gets a bit more proximity. But for the most part, Ite is just kind of putting the points on the board to make sure that he does. So we'll find out here what the judges think, if maybe there's a bit more to the story. But
well, I'm telling you now, they're back looking at the replay from the first half of the run on initiation. Yeah. So I think there's a little bit more untold on this, and we're going to find out. We are probably going to have to fire it to the judges to find out exactly what they've been looking at. But decision's in. Slide them left for Ite Seda, right for Dave Egan. It's going to be unanimous. It's Ite Seda. We're going to come to you real quick, David Kalas. David, you were looking back at the initiation. I was wondering was there something that me and Jacob missed?
Yeah, in cases like that, when we are having zero mistake on the chase position, we need to be 100% sure that it was not caused by the leader, especially when the leader was having quite awkward line. As we can see, Itai was running quite inside. He completely missed the outer zone 3. However, that was not affecting the chaser in a way that he needs to end up where Dave was ending up. So we were just checking if everything was not 100% correct, but it was chaseable. So we confirmed it is chaseable, and we gave the win to Itai.
Well, there we go. Thank you for clarifying that. And yeah, you know, look,
Independent mistakes.
independent mistakes. You just have to look at them like that. So here we go. We're back on the line with the next two drivers, and this is the battle that I pointed out. One that I am very interested to see how it goes down. Two very similar engine platforms, two very similar driving styles, a lot of style, a lot of flair, a lot of aggression, but from two very different parts of the world. It's going to be from Finland, Lauri Heinonen, the former champion, sits in that V8 ProCharge 180 SX, and alongside him will be Nasser Al-Habali from El Salvador, now residing in Dubai in this beautiful carbon Kevlar Nissan 400Z. Two Nissan chassis, two different V8s underneath the bonnet, two very similar driving styles. What will we see here? Untested, These two guys never battle in competition.
Wow, it's a great setup though. Similar engines always lead to great battles.
They certainly do. Well, here we go, off the line and through the gears. It's going to be Lauri Heinonen and the high qualifier to lead them out as he fires that car in big angle. And it looks like Nasser Harbali mistimed that initiation as now Heinonen stands on the accelerator. What can Nasser Harbali do as he fires it outside zone 4, tries to find the side of that 180 SX, and he does as he transitions earlier. A little check up from Harbali though. Oh, as Heinonen flexes the back end off the wall. Harbali pushes him through the final outside zone.
Nasser got real scrappy there at the end. Knew he had to push hard and just went for it, but Lauri Heinonen so quick out of the gate. You'll see he's such a master of launching that car out. I mean, the upside with all the torque you're making in those big V8s, and it's making all the power down low, is out of the starting gate, it's fast. It's always going to get that good dig if you can keep the power down, and it's a great launch. It does take Nasser Al-Habali all the way until 4 and the end of 4 before he's really able to enter back in. A lot of wheel shake on that inside wheel for Lauri. I might be taking a look at that from one of his mechanics, but either way, it's a great comeback for Nasser, but it's just pretty late in the run to be able to do it. Man, he is so intense in that car. He's grabbing a gear midway through his own. Interesting. That's not where you're normally shifting. But for Lauri Heinonen, there's nothing normal about him, let's be honest.
There's nothing normal about the way Lauri Heinonen now works in his drift car.
Here we go.
Oh, look at that big contact, and see some body panels being shredded there. I wonder if that was it was the headlight,
Oh, speed tape's out.
So, Marcin down there, donning the shirt now.
He has been moving to tech screws
I
recently.
think that's what he's run off to get, maybe. Maybe he's gone for a tech screw.
Looks like there might have been a few in there for previous runs, but we might go back to the old speed tape just in case.
Oh, we're going to find out. We're going to see.
There they are.
There we
They're
are.
back.
Back onto the...
Higher. Not often we do commentary over Marcy's job, but I like that he uses washers. That's very respectful. You don't want it tearing through.
Gets the job done, right?
Yeah. Yeah, these cars are all very beautiful at the beginning of the year, and it doesn't take long before you can see the battle scars.
No, certainly so. Not when they're door on door over 100 kilometres an hour. As they fire in, they slam cars into gears. It will be Harbali to lead in Lauri Heinonen. Heinonen is going to lay down a heater here of a chase run. You can already tell the aggression building as he jumps onto the back bumper. Harbali goes though, fires that car in earlier, and this is almost a repeat. Heinonen straightens on initiation and shuts it down once again, has to reinitiate. Nasser Al-Habali is up and gone as now Lauri Heinonen tries to get himself back into the mix as Harbali puts that car to the wall. One more wall run to go. Lauri shuts it down again as Harbali goes wide and across the line.
I just hope it's not another engine. We'll see.
Oh, he's shaking the head, says it all to me.
Oh, belts off. Seems like he's just coasting. I think I hear some revving going on. I hope so. For Lauri, what all went wrong here? Gets the initiation done.
Car doesn't light off again.
No, doesn't light off again. So weird. But yeah, for Nasser, similarly, you keep going. I mean, at that point, you may not even know the chase car has had a problem. You shouldn't be looking in your mirrors. You just got to focus on the road ahead. And it might be around here. He's expecting to see the yellow nose pop into his mirror, but big understeer, big clutch kick, gears down, handbrake. He's trying to clutch kick it to get it to come back around.
Yeah, it's
He's
like it's
working
got
it.
no power, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe a belt gone.
Maybe the Pro Charger belt snapped.
Yeah, that could be the case.
Yeah.
Because it's still gonna, it's still gonna make naturally aspirated 5 or 6 hours.
There we go. We hear it in our ears. The Supercharger belt failed, or the Pro Charger that he runs in that car, the belt failed, and that was it, no power. It's going to only slide one way, and it's going to slide left for Nasser Al-Habali as he gets the win, advances through to the Great 8, and what a weekend. The year for Laurie Heinen just does not get any easier.
No, it really doesn't, and it feels a lot like damage control left for him. But for Nasser, this is a boost that he needed. He's been on it, and we talked about it. Like, drifting is a lot of luck. There's a lot of luck involved in it, and for right now, Nasser Al-Habali's got touch of the green, if you will.
Rub of the green.
Rub of the green. I'm learning.
Rub of the green.
Rub of the green.
Yeah. Well, we're going to fire it down to our lady on the ground, Laurie Heinen's with Becky Evans.
Laurie, tough break. That's not the end you wanted for your weekend there. We heard from the guys in the tower that it was a supercharger belt, but can you tell us what happened from your point of view?
Yeah, when I started in first gear, second gear, put on third, no power. So, yeah, supercharger belt came off, and I tried to drift, but with this grip, it's not doable, so, yeah.
Having a few issues with the car this year, is it going to be a change-up for next round, or are you going to keep going with this setup?
Yeah, we'll have to keep with this setup for the rest of the season. It's starting to really annoy us, but nothing we can do now.
Absolutely, Laura. Well, we'll see you in the next round. Thank you so much. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Becky. And I tell you, as you know, it's... Oh, wow, look at this. Kuba Vyshkonsky down in his paddock, creating viral clips.
Yeah.
In the break.
Yeah, that camera's worth a little bit more now.
For me, it is so hard to see Laurie Heinen so dejected after seeing him win a championship. But hey, we must move on and we get back to the line. It's going to be a big one on the line. Dwayne McKeever to take on Benedictus Cherba. And McKeever, the higher qualifier, will opt to lead first. And look, it's so in the zone this weekend. He looks so relaxed.
Yeah, that's so key. We when you see a driver that's just in it, some drivers do really well locked in. Cherba seems to be that case. He's got to be dialed. McKeever, if he's chilled out, that's a dangerous way.
It certainly is a dangerous position. But look at this as they fire through the gears. Two JZ machines come off the line as they fire to initiation. Look at McKeever, 90 degrees on initiation. But Cherba stays with him. Almost felt they were going to both go off track there, but they dial it in as McKeever keeps a bit of distance between himself and Cherba. It looks like Cherba just can't find the door at 180SX as McKeever fires it to the wall. Now Cherba starts to make the dive on the side and McKeever's 180SX and across the line.
Oh man, I love seeing the way Dwayne runs the lead run. There's so many things he does. There's so many little subtle things that he does that just make it such a show. When we checked out his in-car, you could see him finding traction. He was lifting a little bit even before he shifted. But check out that zone two. Great job getting the wheel through that. All of his transitions are really quick. They're telegraphed as well to the chase driver. He can almost show you that he's about to transition. Watch it come over. He'll feed a little bit extra into the car. You'll see it right there. Adds a little more and then gets the car to come around. And he does. It's like telling the chase driver, here you go. Here's the transition's coming. Go for it. And he makes the big flicks. He makes the big angle. And it's just, he's one of the most stylish drivers that we've got out here, but he's still incredibly fast. The fact that he's even able to outrun Cherba in a few zones tells you everything you need to know about the speed of Dwayne McKeever.
Yeah, it certainly does. Dwayne McKeever looks like he's on a mission this weekend. It just looks like man and machine are absolutely in sync and working in perfect harmony. And to get back on the line, it will be Cherba now to lead out Dwayne McKeever for the second half of this top 16 battle. And Cherba would love nothing more now to throw down and try and put a bit of an upset here or try and swing it a little bit more his way. They're off the line and through the gears. McKeever onto the back bumper of that BMW straight away as they both initiate at the same time. Look at McKeever, mirror image. Oh, he's on the grass! Jumps over the grass as Cherba fires a cone into the face of the 180SX. Cherba back into it. Both guys now recomposure as they transition outside zone 5 up into the wall. Cherba dials on a little bit more angle, goes wide. McKeever follows him, pushes him towards the wall. They look for that final outside zone and across the line.
First couple of zones are make or break for this whole thing again. There's Dwayne just kind of taking a look and probably trying to figure out what all just went on. Cherba ends up catching a cone. He takes it for a bit of a ride too, which is never a good time. Cherba's way on the inside.
Both? Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, part of me wants to lean towards Dwayne going like, hey, this is where he's going, that's where I have to go. And this is one of those conversations that came up in the drivers' meeting. It was a big point that both the judges made and the drivers made about that inside zone is like, hey, you still need to leave some room there for the chase car, and I'm wondering if that's going to come into play here. Because Churba had to make a big correction just to get to where he was, and it was still pretty hard on the inside.
Oh, you can see what it means to the Lithuanian fans down there as they watch their hometown hero take that car over the curb. And yeah, I mean, uncharacteristic mistake there from Benediktas Churba, and kind of see that he led Dwayne McKeever off the track there.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, there is something to be said. Dwayne's got to kind of keep an eye out and make sure he's not putting himself in danger as well. But to have a good lead, or to have a good chase, you need to have a good lead. Yeah. There's a lot of back and forth here as well. But it's really going to come down to what was discussed in the briefing that all the drivers get. There's a little packet that goes out that's presented at the drivers meeting that kind of explains a lot of these things. And judges are great at predicting some scenarios, and we'll see how this one plays out.
Yeah, both guys out of the car down there ready to receive that decision from our judges. Looks like there's still a bit of a conversation going on, but maybe they've already input their scores. And yeah, Dwayne McKeever saying not the best. Slide him left for McKeever, right for Churba. It's going to be Dwayne McKeever getting the win, advancing through to the Grade A. And yeah, mistake from Churba. Churba leading Dwayne McKeever off the track, and head judge David Kalas gives me the head nod, and the other judges say, yep, thumbs up, well done, you know what he's talking about.
Hey, there we go. Mark it on the calendar, they got something right.
Yeah. Massive thank you to our judges as always, David Kalas, Tormo, Rasmo and Chris Witowski down there in the judging booth, getting all the work done. We go back on the line to the man that was signing autographs just a minute ago. Now on the line, the two Polish drivers go head to head.
Yeah, big part of this too is for Korpolinski. He's sitting pretty well right now, 4th place in the championship. So this is big. This is big points for him. There's a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah.
He had a great season last year. He's constantly progressed up through the ranks. This battle means a lot for his championship run.
It certainly does. Well, here we go. Off the line and through the gears. Two Polishmen side by side. B58, GR86. Oh, wow, almost contact. Look at this, the aggression from Jakub Brzezinski as he puts it to the side of Korpolinski. Korpolinski dials that car in for outside zone 4. A little bit of ground opens up now as Korpolinski tries to separate himself from his fellow Polishmen as they fire up onto the wall. You can see what Brzezinski wants to do. He wants to put the wheel onto the door, and he does across the line.
There's the aggression we wanted. That's exactly what I was hoping to see out of Kuba. We talked about him being unchained earlier on, and it's happening. The gate is open, the beast is out, and the chase game is here. And Korpolinski's always going to give you that lead run.
He certainly is.
He is.
Look at this.
It's going to be phenomenal. But look at Kuba. This is fantastic. I like seeing how aggressive he is right off the get-go. You have very little time to make up ground after this point. You'd have to cut a lot of line to get into 4, and Kuba makes a nice dive without getting overly aggressive. Korpolinski, though, once again, feeds that car into every zone, runs the edge of the track, and provides you that opportunity to get in nice and close. He invites you into the door and says, come on, come hang with me. Oh, so good to see.
Yeah, just perfectly timed transitions as well. Looks like Kuba really he has come out of his shell a little bit this year. He's taking more risks than we've seen in the past, and especially on that initiation, the dives they're way more aggressive. Look at this, bam, straight onto the front wheel, and even taking out some angle to make sure he can get the front wheel onto the door, and then as he gets to the door, dials on the angle, mirrors the angle off the lead car. Incredible stuff there from Brzezinski.
Yeah, fantastic to see. We're going to swap him around now. Kuba's got to have the lead run of his life, and we'll see how Korpolinski's chase game has developed. He's been really, really good. Same thing, though, a driver that's kind of a risk-averse, but he's going to have to risk something right now.
He certainly is as he creeps off the line and through the gears. The tyres already getting blown off the back, and that GR86, they fire through the gears to initiation. And look at that, it's almost a mirror in the first half of the run. Korpolinski tags him on initiation. He understeers, and Korpolinski drops wheels over the edge of the circuit. Whoa! Wow! Fires it in, and it doesn't pay off for Korpolinski as Brzezinski stands on the accelerator, that GR86, and sticks it to the wall. Looks like Brzezinski hungry for this one. Pavel Korpolinski gets to it again, but it's too much too late.
This is going to be interesting. This is going to be really, really interesting. we're going to see this replay, but this initiation is going to be a big, big part of it as to when Kuba really lights off and what this line looks like. So right here, everything seems pretty sorted. That's a pretty decent handbrake pull, and I'm wondering if that's going to come into play here. And he misses zone 2.
Yeah.
He's pretty far out. I mean, it might be more of a natural line, but it is not the line that the judges are necessarily looking for. Great transition, though. And then now Powell's just trying to get back into the fight. Now, he does overcommit there. I think that mistake might be a little bit more on him.
Yeah.
The first one you could probably point towards Kuba.
I don't know.
But when did Kuba light off in time as well?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can decel leading up to the zone, but you need to be back on throttle in the zone. So judges are taking a lot of looks at this. So are we. That's a real interesting set of circumstances. A series of unfortunate events.
And it is. And you know, on the first look at it, you almost assume that Pavel Korpolinski's made a mistake with that big initiation, but you take a look back at the replay and go through it, and you can see that there were some bids in there. You can see Pavel Korpolinski out of the car, down there, waiting for that decision, and Jakub Puszczonski out of the car as well.
Unsure.
Yeah, I think both guys know, and you can see now, this is what the judges are looking at. This is the replay that the judges are looking at. And as you were saying, looks like there was a handbrake pull after.
I think so, yeah. It looks like it. It looks like Kuba kind of, at the lead up, we might be able to see it here. So, right there. It's hard to tell.
He doesn't light off for a very long time.
No, and they want full acceleration. Now, he does get knocked, which might have pushed him off that inside clip.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I don't speak Polish. So we'll see. I think judges' decisions are in here, and we'll definitely be chatting with David Klaas once this is all decided and understand exactly what led the needle one direction or the other, or maybe in the middle. Who knows?
This could go either way. I'm very unsure now, looking at what the judges are looking at as well, and even the drivers, they don't know themselves. Here we go, decisions in, left for Korpolinski, right for Puszczonski. It's going to be Pavel Korpolinski getting the win, advancing through to the Great A. David Klaas, we come to you. There was a few things that maybe me and Jacob missed in the first look.
Yeah, that comes to the first corner. As we said already in top 32, where we had similar situation, we need to protect the chaser, that there is no deceleration from the leader. And as you can see, there is no smoke coming from the rear wheels of Kuba Puszczonski until he gets into the next to the guidelines. And there was no way for Pavel Korpolinski to find a way where to go. So we needed to give that mistake towards the leader. And as there was a zero mistake or incomplete mistake from one of the drivers, we needed to decide who to blame for it. And this time we chose Kuba Puszczonski because there was no big issue with Pavel Korpolinski because he did what he can at that moment.
Okay, thank you very much, David, for the explanation. We're going to go down into the paddock with our queen, Becky Evans. She's down there getting some behind the scenes with Conor Shanahan.
Conor, a disappointing end to your weekend. I think we can already see by the look on your face as you got out the car and as you stand before me now, but can you give us a little insight into what's going through your mind? Yeah,
obviously not the result what we were looking for. Frustrating one. Hurts a lot for sure. Put a lot of work into this weekend to try. I feel good in this championship. I feel really good. I feel like it's a big possibility. I still feel like it's a big possibility to be a champion this year. But the last two times that I won this championship, I always regretted that it didn't have a home win. And the plan this weekend was to try add that to the list. Qualified first yesterday, felt really good in practice. Never understeered once all weekend. And I just think it probably was a mix of emotions. Some nerves crept in. We were sat on the starting line for quite some time waiting for, obviously first battle to go. And as I was going up the straight, I didn't fully commit to the first corner. And here, it bites you if you don't commit. So. Yeah, we understeered, pushed the front, and that's all she wrote. Game over, and but I think that's the shows what this sport can be. 1-2 out in the championship in top 32. It's mind-blowing. So now we're holding on, watching the live stream, seeing what's going on every battle.
Speaking of live stream, obviously Jack is on the line with Kevin Pesternak. He has the chance to keep the right-hand side of the racket in the Shanahan cap, so a quick one, just a good luck for him.
Yeah, get the phones out. This one could be fireworks.
I know you heard it there first. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Becky. Yeah, Conor Shanahan's not wrong. Get the phones out, ladies and gentlemen, if you are on the grandstand. This could be fireworks. There's history between these two guys. But before we send them off the line, let's have a quick word with Jack Shanahan.
To be honest, the season so far hasn't been as successful as I was hoping for it to be. I really wanted to come out swinging a bit more than what I did in Italy and get a better result. But being back in the top 10 was the main objective for Spain, so just kind of keep going and try to get back to the top 5.
Well, there we go, fighting for it this weekend, and Jack Shanahan trying to hold it down for the Shanahan camp. And trying to hold off anyone else getting to his brother's championship lead. But this man has been on an absolute flyer this year, trying to take down as many drivers as he can. He nods the head as Kevin Purser, the Estonian, fires off the anti-lag and creeps off the line. Jack Shanahan will lead them out. This is for a spot in the Great Hate, but who will take it as they fire through the gears? Purser onto the back bumper. Shanahan fires to an angle. Purser can't be shaken, goes on the inside though as Purser jumps over the curb. A little scrappy from the Estonian as Shanahan puts down an incredible lead line at the moment, but Purser comes back in at outside zone 4. Shanahan fires up towards the wall, flexes the back bumper on the GT86. Kevin Purser can't be in it though, can't find him until the final outside zone.
Wow, we knew Purser was going to take the battle to him. Jack gave him every opportunity to do so, and that's what it looked like. First part of that battle definitely got a little bit stranger. Kevin Purser getting caught out just a bit on the inside, but Jack with a really nice and smooth initiation. Very, very predictable. Catches a little bit. Has to pull that car back in, but Kevin Purser gets caught a little bit more. Jack now through zone 4, looking completely planted. Kevin Purser once again just pushing. He wants everybody to go just a little bit faster, as you can see him starting to hunt down the young Irishman through that window. Man, look at these transitions. Jack using that kind of, pulsing the handbrake to make sure that you're not dragging it for too long. It allows you to know where the traction is as well. Gets that car settled back in and right back on throttle. This is already shaping up to be one of the best battles we've seen so far.
Yeah, it certainly is. For me, I'm a little bit shocked here that Kevin Purser couldn't really get himself up into the door. I expected Purser to take a big bite out the side of that GTA 6 on outside zone 6. Look at this, fires the car in almost backwards.
Yeah.
Stalls himself up, and then it allows Shanahan to drive away, just tags the door across the line.
Yeah, he added just a bit too much angle coming in there, and then it's tough because you got to pull that angle back out, then get on throttle, then gain proximity. So a lot of things got to go right really quick to correct something like that. Judges already taking a look back on that replay as well. We'll see how this all plays out. This is getting tense.
It certainly is getting tense. Well, it's tense down there on the start line as well as Shanahan now starts to creep at the front wheels of Purser's BMW pop off the tarmac. Look at this side by side as Shanahan goes for the back bumper. Purser fires it in. We know that car is wicked up to 100. Shanahan comes in hard though, deeper on outside zone 3 than Kevin Purser as he puts it into outside zone 4. Shanahan shortcuts the circuit, now finds the door of that BMW. Shanahan fighting for it as Purser flicks it towards the wall. Back on throttle he goes. Shanahan into it though, onto the rear wheel, looking for the side of the BMW across the line.
The run-up to me looked interesting. It's tough. Off first glance, it almost felt like Purser was quick and then slowed down. Not that he missed a shift or anything, but it just seemed a little bit herky-jerky, and Jack almost had to back off there for a second. Now, rest of the run here, Jack does get caught in the smoke just a little bit. The fact that he holds on to this as to where he transitioned is absolutely wild to me. What are you pointing out there?
Outside zone 4 again for Kevin Purser.
Oh, again.
Looked like it from that camera angle. I didn't catch it on the first one, but from the second camera angle on the replay, looks like Purser once again missed outside zone 4. Now, I could be wrong, but it does look like it from what the judges are looking at on their replay, that Kevin Purser may have missed outside zone 4 or come up short on some of it.
Yeah, interesting. I'll have to see how that ends up working out, but oh yeah, look at that. There's a ton of smoke, but yeah, he comes out of it pretty quick.
Looks like he maybe has one wheel in outside zone 4.
Yeah, great transition there from Jack Shanahan. Yeah, to me, just watching the run-up, like I was expecting Purser to be maybe faster, just based on how quick he is, and then it looked like Jack backed out for a second. Purser took off again, so there's so many things going on in both cars, it's hard to tell, but normally Jack's right on someone's tail on launch, so that's the only reason that I bring it up. But yeah, I think both Jack on inside 2 was kind of deep, whereas Purser was kind of shallow on 4. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. There's a lot in this, that's for sure. Both of them had some mistakes in the lead and in the chase. Could go one more time. I really don't know.
Yeah, well, here we go. Decisions in. Slide him left for Shanahan, right for Kevin Purser. There's one vote for Kevin Purser. It's going to be Kevin Purser getting the win, advancing through. David Kalas, just a quick word from you. Some mistakes creeping in from both drivers.
Yeah, we definitely saw some mistakes from both drivers in their lead runs. However, everything comes to the chase runs. And Jack was having a pretty good chase. However, what we saw from Kevin Purser was just better. So we saw mistakes on the lead, on both lead runs. We saw better chase from Kevin Purser because of his proximity, and that's why Kevin Purser is getting the win.
Thank you very much, David. It literally only came down to the chase.
Yeah, which, every single bit matters.
Closer proximity. Wow. Interesting.
I think that's Jack attempting to take out another engine. Here in the background.
Just putting on a show. Yeah, Jack just putting on some show down there for the fans. But yeah, the damage control for the Shanahans now over from Jack Shanahan. So both drivers out. We go back on the line. Jason Benet to take on Nicolas Bertans. An interesting one.
Yes.
A wild initiation, a man that has all the grip in the world.
It's an interesting pairing to see the least. Nick Knack, though, has gotten really good at chasing with a ton of grip. He's developed a lot in that category.
He certainly has. Well, let's see how this one unfolds. They come off the line. Here's Jason Benet in that 2JZ Subaru BRZ as he fires in that big angle initiation. It makes it work every single time. But look at this from Bertans, front wheel to front wheel. Incredible transition from Jason Benet out front in that Subaru BRZ, but there's no shaking the young Latvian as he now works his way up to the door, into that final outside zone. He pushes Benet across the line.
Nick Knack, that's how he plays. It feels like Benet might have added a bit more grip into the car for this battle, just to try and keep up when he goes into the other side of it, because he comes through the blocks really quick and then has to add a bunch of angle here just to get that car to make it into 3. He was about to shoot off track. Now, Bertans in the chase does a great job of adapting to it, but once again, you can tell it's a wild beast that just wants to keep attacking the entire time. That is so close to being an incident.
And that's a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, to me, look at less angle,
understeers,
and then he's got to add a ton just to get that car to come back around. He would have shot off track if he didn't make that adjustment.
And I didn't catch that on the first half of the run, Jacob.
Yeah, it's all good. All good. Nick Knack, though, he's so quick. Now we swap it around. I will say, it feels like Benet's car is faster, so we'll see how it plays out. And there's Mika Keska-Korpi getting ready to go.
Yeah, getting ready to go. Fist bumps the team. As we said yesterday, says they're good last goodbyes.
So final, so final.
Well, here we go, they're on the line, ready to rock and roll. Bertans now to lead out Jason Benet for a spot in the grey 808s for one of these drivers. They hammer through the gears. And look at this, Benet, nice initiation now. Can he find a side of that BMW? He understeers once again. Benet front wheel straight as he comes through outside zone 3. They get into 4, and it looks flawless from the young Latvian at the moment as he stands on the accelerator and flicks that BMW towards the wall. Benet can't get himself into the fight, and he's absolutely lost as he watches the Latvian drive away.
It's just a great combination of car and driver and engine package that Nicolas Bertans has. It's, that's really all that it kind of comes down to. It's paired so well, and he's young enough that he can adapt to pretty much anything. For Jason Benet, the car is definitely quicker, and you can tell that by the understeer. When you add more grip to the rear, the front needs to compensate, and it's not quite there yet. Maybe sticking with that looser setup would have benefited him a bit more in the lead. The problem is when you come to the chase, you're just not going to keep up with a Eurofighter that's running at 10/10ths all the time. A little bit of desperation in the face there, Jason Benet. You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
A little bit of hope is disappearing as that BMW starts to walk away.
And that's the thing. He's sat in the car. There's nothing he can do about it. And he's seeing Nicolas Bertans. I mean, it's not a lot, but he's seeing him move away by like half a car length at a time. And there's nothing but that Benet can do.
It's like watching the bus leave. You're right there.
You're running.
The door's closing, and then you see them drive off, and you're still running for some reason, even though there's no way you can catch up. It's tough. I don't know what it's going to take to beat out a Nicolas Bertans, who's on form right now, and he's fixing a lot of his mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, here we go. Decisions in. Slide him left for Nicolas Bertans and right for Jason Benet. It can only go one way. It's going to be Nicolas Bertans. And Jason Benet could see it from a mile away as Jason Benet drops out of competition. But good to have that Frenchman here, bringing a lot of style to Drift Masters.
Love the progression he's had this round, and I'm excited to see what he does next.
Yeah, certainly so. Back on the start line we go, though. It's going to be James Dean to take on Teemu Asunma. So the hometown hero gets a roar from the crowd already. But before we see these guys off the line, let's hear from the one and only James Dean.
Every time I drive at home, it's a special feeling, and you just want to put on the best show possible. Like, these are the people that have supported me through everything. The good times, the bad times, they've always been there. I really want to get my first win in the Ford Mustang RTR in Ireland this weekend.
Well, there we go. He said it on air. He wants to get his first win in Ireland in a Ford Mustang RTR right here this weekend. Well, can he do it? But he's got to go through this man first. Teemu Asunma, the crazy rally driving drifter.
Yeah, great crossover. Love to see him here.
It certainly is. Well, here we go. They're off the line. James Dean, the higher qualifier, to lead them out as they hammer through the gears. James Dean goes for a big flick to initiation. It catches Asunma out. Asunma now watches James Dean drive away. 6 to the qualifying line. Asunma trying to shortcut the track. Fires that car in on outside zone 4. Now glues it to the door of the Mustang as James Dean flicks the car from left to right, up to the wall. Asunma just can't get there. Has to shortcut once again as Asunma goes for a dive on the door. It's Dean across the line.
Asunma was so close. He was so close, and it's as soon as he transitioned out of 5, I think you might have heard me go, nah, and it just the timing, and a lot of it just comes with time. I mean, we forget very quickly that Asunma's, he hasn't been doing that for that long. All things considered, he's coming from rally.
Is it not a year?
It's a very short period of time. I think you might be right. He's got incredible instincts as a race car driver. You can't take that away from him. Everything he's done in rally is impressive, to say the least. But there's some things that happen in drifting that are so specific to drifting, and it's transitioning in the chase. It's getting the timing down and knowing when you can do it, knowing when you can pick up some of that. And unfortunately for Asunma, it's just not at the right time. That's all it is. James Dean's doing everything he needs to do. What more can be said about his driving? It's as perfect as you're going to get. But him diving in to go for that transition, coming around from the inside, poking out, it just won't work that way, unfortunately, because you're always going to come in with too much angle and you're going to be on the wrong side of the transition. The dive was just at the wrong time. That's all it is, and that purely becomes an instinct thing you have to develop over time.
Exactly that. Well, there we go. Back on the line, ready to rock and roll. We see Conor Falvey down there in the paddock, getting ready to jump into that car. He is the final battle up in our top 16 against Nicky. But these two guys are off the line and through the gears. It will be Timo Asunma now to lead out James Dean. James Dean almost takes the back end off the BMW on initiation as they fire through inside zone 2 and outside zone 3. Dean goes for an early transition. Asunma into outside zone 4, stands on the accelerator as Dean looks for the side, losing little ground, lets Asunma settle himself as he flicks it to outside zone 6. He goes very wide and Dean follows him, but they avoid the wall and pick up the final outside zone.
I was worried about that wall. Knock on wood, everyone's been pretty good around that section, but considering how deep he was going through the first part of outside zone 6, it did not look good for Asunma. Been caught a little bit wide for the first part of this track. James Dean does a good job tracking a little bit more on the inside to make sure that he's in a great spot for those transitions. Asunma through 4 looked super planted. And there's James. Just the timing, though, is phenomenal. Little tiny handbrake pulls, just making sure he can get himself into the right spot. Asunma's transitions are looking better than ever when he's out in the lead, and he does a great job, but just gets caught a little bit deep right here. Transitions out, just missing the wall, goes a bit wide and is able to find a bit more grip. The hard part too is you get the marbles built up in that section. You can see them all. There's little black dots all the way through, and he gets lost in it for a second, comes off throttle, finds a bit more grip and shoots out.
Back, yeah.
The worst thing you can do there is throttle down, because all you're gonna do is go deeper into them, and it's gonna be a bad time. Asunma, though, I'm very quickly progressing into an incredible drift driver. Ah, man, great to see.
Yeah, he's really grown into his own in 2026, and good to have him on the track. Oh, no, look at this.
We're all James Dean fans.
One for the history books. Here we go, side of left for Asunma, right for James Dean. It can only go one way. It's going to be James Dean getting the win, advancing through, and Timo Asunma there did everything he could to try and stick it to the multiple champion, but just couldn't hang with James Dean.
Well, and this is going to move, well, not officially yet, but James Dean getting closer and closer to bumping himself up a spot in the point standings. 3rd overall right now, so for him, this is, we talked about championship implications. There is none bigger than James Dean right now.
Yeah, another man that will be looking to cement some moves in his championship is this man on the line right now, leading out Conor Falvey. Mika Keski-Korpi will be looking to try and progress in the championship now, knowing that both the Shanahans are out, that Peter's out. He'll know that maybe at the end of the weekend, if he could jump on the podium, he could be in a title fight.
Yeah.
Going into Finland, his home event.
That would be absolutely incredible, but he's going to have to go through the young gun here at his home event in Conor Falvey, who is on form and has all the confidence in the world.
He certainly does. He slams that car into gear. 1100 horsepower, comes off the line as they scream to initiation. Mika Keski-Korpi looking better than ever this year, but can he take down an on-form Conor Falvey as he flicks it to initiation? Nice line for Mika Keski-Korpi right now. Falvey keeping it clean, not doing too much. Just now noses in the S15 to the door of the BMW as they both transition. 2 big clutch kicks as they fire wall to wall. Mika Keski-Korpi on a blinding lead line, but Falvey straight up onto the door and pushes Mika Keski-Korpi across the line.
Real spicy there at the end. I don't know if they made wheel-on-wheel contact or what happened, but I know Conor Falvey was pushing really hard all the way through this run, and maybe just a little Irish kiss at the very end of the run, pushing Mika Keskikorpi around, but great initiation there, tracking quite well through that second inside zone. All the throttle in the world from Mika Keskikorpi. Inside zone 4, oh, he does. He gets caught just a little bit on the inside, able to sink back. And that does give Conor Falvey the opportunity to dive in a little bit harder. Look at that, locked all the way in. Good transition out. Now he starts to hunt down the green and purple door of the Finnish driver. Punch it through the smoke, and it's going to be this last section here where things get really, really spicy. Mika, good line through 6. Conor now hunting him down, wants to end on a high note. He does, pushes a little bit of door.
Oh, I just touches
Just
the
a
door.
little door.
You can see it right here.
Yeah. Oh, that's a decent push.
Yeah, it's a decent push from that angle.
Yeah. And Mika's coming off throttle, so that car's going to naturally grip up. So a little bit more momentum, and that's what's going to end up happening. But as long as both of them made it over the line.
Judges take a look back with some of these replays. We're seeing the finish line. I know the judges are looking at a different angle. And Conor Falvey now talking to our Starline Marshal Martin, so unsure of what is happening.
I'm wondering if he's wanting to get hands on his car in the front right. Oh, don't tell me there's a boost leak. Now he's going to close the door and go for it. He might have been trying to make a case to say that there was contact and that he wasn't at fault and he wanted to get a 5 minute to take a look at the car. I mean, maybe. Hey, go for it. Go for it. Shoot your shot, kid. I don't think it's going to happen. It's on there. It's fine.
Yeah, so Martin down there just taking a look around the back end of Mika Keskikorpi's car. You can see that bumper just shoved up underneath the rear wheel. And Mika looks fine, though. Looks like he's in the zone, ready to rock and roll. Now chasing down Conor Falvey, Mika Keskikorpi. The higher qualifier comes off the line in that chase position as Falvey slams through the gears in that 2JZ S15, flicks it to angle. Mika Keskikorpi giving him the room to manoeuvre. Maybe he feels that the mistake in the first half of the run was down to Falvey as Keskikorpi now puts the BMW right up onto the side of the S15, gets lost in the smoke a little bit, pops through. Can he get back onto the door on transition as Falvey rubs the wall on the back end of the S15? Mika Keskikorpi onto the rear wheel and across the line.
Conor Falvey throwing it all at the wall right now.
Yeah.
That's some big angles, some big transitions. He's really hanging that car out there. Mika does give him that space in the beginning, as you said. Maybe a little bit too much respect. Just look at the gap that he's got right now. They're both on a great line. They both do a really good job through 2, coming out to 3. Conor could have been just a touch deeper. Mika gets caught a little bit in that transition. Now through 4, Mika's got to gain a bit more proximity. Now he's buried in smoke, and Conor transitions in front of him while Mika's not in a particularly nice place to be. You're bathing in smoke through there, and it's going to blind you, and it feels like forever. And now we get into that transition. It's not a great spot to be making a dive for Mika. And Conor does. He throws a ton of angle at it. I don't know if the judges are going to bring that into play. Doesn't look like he's checking up any speed. I would say it's pretty similar to what Dwayne McKeever did earlier on. We'll see, Mika, too much angle again. Tough go, tough back and forth.
Yeah, I tell you, this is a tough battle, I feel for the judges on this one because there's quite a lot to take away from it. The contact on the first half of the run where Mika Keskikorpi spun, that was across the finish line. Both these guys are out of the car chatting anyway, so that's a good sign. But the decision's in, left for Keskikorpi, right for Conor Falvey. It's going to be Conor Falvey getting the win, advancing through to the Great 8. And Conor Falvey gets a weekend he's been waiting for here at Drift Masters, moving forward. See what it means to the Irish drift fans as they absolutely roar in the grandstands. And unfortunately for Mika Keskikorpi, the hunt, the run that he's been on comes to an end. And I tell you, we go to his homeland in just a few weeks' time, and I expect big things from Mika Keskikorpi.
Yeah, I agree. But for right now, it is all Conor Falvey getting that win, keeping that momentum going. I mean, he was very emotional. He was still emotional when we got to say hi and congratulations during our break. So this is going to be big, but we are now wrapped up top 16. Whew. I almost need another break. That was intense.
There we go. This is how it all plays out. So this is our top eight, as we move forward in competition. It's going to be Ite Seder, Nasser Al-Habali, another interesting battle. Makiva Korpolinski is going to be a battle. Passeur and Bertens, I know you are waiting for that one. And then James Dean take on Conor Falvey. So we will lose one of our Irishmen. There will only be 2 Irishmen in competition after our top 8, potentially. Potentially.
Maybe there's none. Maybe there's one.
Hey, there's a lot of Irish out there. I wouldn't want to say that too loud. They might hear you. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone around the building enjoying themselves.
Some fellow Canadians out there. It's good to see. People from all over the world making the pilgrimage to Ireland.
There we go. So Becky Evans is down there in the paddock with Jack Shanahan. Becky.
Jack, we were just having a chat there and we were talking about how drifting can be such a cruel mistress. I mean, number 1 qualifier, number 2 qualifier, out in top 32 and top 16 respectively. I mean, it's written all over your face, but can you give us a little insight into how you're feeling right now?
Yeah, just kind of gutted, to be honest. I really feel like we had a very strong lead run and like good qualifying and stuff, but unfortunately we didn't focus on the whole battle aspect, and the car just kind of let me down in the chase, and it's kind of been letting me down since the start of the weekend, so I kind of knew that, but I really hope that I'll be able to adapt to it a bit better than what I did, and just unfortunately just bit me in the ass, and that's kind of it, you know. So it is what it is. We move on. We just try to reset, refocus for Finland, and try figure out the cars a bit more. They banned the tyre that we tried to use and know best, and now we have to try to figure out these tyres. So it's starting to get to me a little bit because I had the car so dialed last year, and I'm trying to rethink everything, trying to get it all as good as we can. And just on this track, the run-up is very important, as you can see. So once Kevin got a bit of a gap in me, I had nothing else to do. But yeah, watching it back, Kevin's lead was also not very good, but just my chase was terrible. So it is what it is.
You know, for the fans out there watching, we've got to talk about those highs and lows. It can be such an emotional weekend for you. How do you come back from that, reset, refocus, as you say, and just get yourself in order for the next round?
Yeah, to be honest, the best thing to do is just try put it behind you as fast as you can, you know. Like it's the same as Italy, you know. I had the same kind of frustration. Obviously that was even more annoying with the same person, but me and Kevin are actually fairly sweet with each other, to be honest. Like, and the thing in Italy was kind of put behind us fairly straight away, and we proved that today. You know, hopped out, all smiles, all handshakes, and moving forward to Finland, it's just a matter of just trying to reset and refocus on what we're trying to achieve, and that's just trying to be on top step. So I'm just disappointed that, you know, home event, all of our family, friends, everyone's here, and to leave them down the way we did. But at least yesterday had the joy of it, I guess. So just trying to push through and keep the smile on the face, and hopefully at least James, Conor and Dwayne are still in the show, and I think that, to be honest, there's a strong chance that one of them will be on top this evening, so at least we got people to support.
Absolutely. I was about to say, any predictions throwing out there of who you think will take the top spot this afternoon?
To be honest, predictions I don't know, but if there's one person I think deserves it most, Conor Falvey, and I really hope that he pushes on. I know he's got a really tough battle in James Dean next, but I beat James Dean for the first time in Mondello Park, so who knows, there's a first for everything. I'm sure that he might pull it out of the bag maybe, but either way, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Thank you, Jack. There you have it, guys.
Thank you very much, Becky. And yeah, I mean, look, Jack will be the first person, as we say, to admit his faults. And a lot of these Irish drivers will instantly say where they went wrong and where it went right. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, no time to dwell on the past. It's all about looking to the future. That's because it's time for Top 8. Well, we're back down on the start line with our next drivers in our top 8, and an incredible battle lined up. Ite Seder to take on Nasser Al-Habali, the man from El Salvador, sits on the line in the lead position, the higher qualifier. Ladies and gentlemen, looking good, looking strong. Had a bit of a easy run there in top 16, should we say, against Laurie Hindon. But hey, as you say, a rub of the green. Anyone will take it on any kind of weekend. And Nasser Al-Habali now is just focused on looking at the final 4. And if he can get through Ite Seder, which is a bit of an unknown entity and not really had a good year so far in 2026, but Ite will be looking for redemption.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a good chance one of these two drivers is going to be standing on the podium later on today. So this is a big moment.
It certainly is a big moment. Here we go, off the line and through the gears. One of these guys will be looking for the final 4 spot as Nasser Al-Habali fires in that 400Z, that carbon Kevlar car, as Ite Seder looks at the rear wheel, shallows up to angle, now fires it back across the track. Nasser Al-Habali on an incredible line into outside zone 4, stands on the throttle. Ite Seder not really got himself in the fight at the moment. Can he make a dive into outside zone 6 as Nasser Al-Habali stands on it once again, looks for the final outside zone. Ite Seder jumps on the rear wheel and across the line.
Yeah, very clean for both of them. Nasser has a really, really solid lead run here. Great way to start off our top 8 for Nasser Al-Habali. And for Ite Seder, It's solid chase. I would like to see him get a little bit more aggressive. I mean, you gotta remember for these drivers, I mean, for Ite, he's been on the podium before, but it's just, now that we're at this point in competition, some of the mistakes have to go away. You've got to charge hard, you've got to push, you have to be clean, you have to be consistent. We've made it this far, and you need to pick up the game a little bit. I feel like Ite just never really got comfortable in the chase, but Nasser seems super, super solid out front. Now we're gonna swap him around, and things may get completely different, but for right now, I think maybe a touch of an advantage there for Nasser Al-Habali. Look, man, love that. Just throws the steering wheel, catches it at the right time. That is supreme confidence in the vehicle underneath of him.
Yeah, it certainly is. Never seen Nasser Al-Habali do that before either, so it's quite a different move.
Very old school Japanese move right there. Yeah.
Very Japanese-esque.
Been watching his option DVDs.
Well, we went down to have an interview with him yesterday, and he was asleep in his lorry, Jacob, and he was like, I'm good. Come back later.
Yeah.
So this man been very relaxed all weekend and looking confident, and that car working for him. Ite Seda, though, still not onto the start line, so I wonder if he's just scrubbing the rest of the front tyres. Yeah, he is.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to lean around.
You were
the
leaning
cone
around. Yeah, I did the same. I followed you.
Yeah, it's like when you got the video game controller, you're trying to steer it by moving it back and forth. It doesn't work that way.
Well, here we go. Ite Sada pulls up to the line to lead out Nasser Al-Habali. Habali starts to creep already as the line goes green. We are off the line here. Red Bull Drift Masters round 3 Mondello Park. Look at this from Habali onto the back bumper of that carbon fiber BMW already. As they fire in, Habali grabs a whole load of understeer and has to get himself back into it. Now he needs to get himself back into the pocket, gain back some lost proximity. But big mistake from Ite Seda on outside zone 4 as they fire to outside zone 6. Habali goes wide again and he holds on to it, almost runs the wall and across the line.
Wow, wild one. Just an absolute wild one again. I mean, both drivers making some mistakes. You can see Nasser just not, I mean, what am I doing?
Yeah, throwing the hand up.
Little bit. I mean, the drivers are so hard on themselves, but once again, you're on the biggest stage right now, so everything needs to be perfect. Nasser, another driver struggling with that understeer, and now he's got to fight back the pace. That's the tough part. Catches himself back a little bit. Got to get back on the horse and try and pick up some ground. I'm wondering if it's those marbles that we talked about, like when the drivers are coming around in the previous lap, they can kick some of that tire debris out into that section, and you know, it doesn't take a lot. A couple of spots that have some bits of tire on it can be all the difference when it comes to the amount of grip these drivers have.
I have another theory.
Oh, go on.
I don't think that Ite Seda had the same initiation speed as Nasser Al-Habali, and Habali was carrying a little less speed, and that forced the car to understeer.
Oh, interesting. You've been looking at the judges' replay again, haven't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been copying anyone's homework. I came up with that all on my own.
Wow, I'm proud of you. Yeah, it could be. It definitely could be. It's going to be interesting for sure to see how this ends up getting played out. I mean, I'm watching the judges' replay. Ite's initiation didn't seem bad by any means, but Nasser does have to adapt to the lead driver. That is a big part of it. But either way, I think Nasser just had some understeers again. What glorious slow-mo. That car is not just a black vinyl wrap. That is all carbon fiber. Not even carbon Kevlar. That's just raw carbon fiber.
Yeah.
That is such a flex.
Yeah, there's a few of those floating around the paddock now. It's amazing to see the level of these machinery.
Nasser staying in the car.
Nasser Al-Habali stays in his car.
That's a bit of a statement.
That is more than a statement. That could be a protest from Nasser Al-Habali. I don't think he's happy, and I feel like he thinks that maybe he was done a little dirty there.
Yeah, we'll see how that all plays out, but we'll get a decision here in a minute. Wow.
Well, it looks like the judges are still deliberating this one, and I can see Chris Butowski, our fourth judge on the replays, talking to the judges and showing them footage and giving them what they need to see. And I wonder if we can see back now. We're looking at the replay. This is what the judges are looking at, ladies and gentlemen. They're looking at the replay of Ite Seda's lead run.
I see what you're getting at there.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
I'm picking up what you're putting down, sir.
Yeah, you picked it up well.
Yeah, thank you. That back hurts. The thing is, if there's something that happens at the very beginning of the run, it's going to affect you all the way through.
The whole way through, yeah. Of course.
You have a chance at 4 to make up for it, but that's kind of it. So this is what we're talking about. So Ite, he does take a minute to get on throttle.
And he doesn't really light off until he's in a 2 almost.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very, very good point.
So here we go, decisions in, slide them left for Ite Sadeb, right for Nasser Al-Habali. Oh, and it's going to be a one more time. It's going to be a one more time, and you can see Nasser Al-Habali not happy. Ite says, fair enough. David Kalas, we have to come to you. A bit of a split in the judging panel there.
Yeah, the main part which we were discussing was again the first corner, which is so important on this track. And Itai was slowing down again in the incorrect spot, and he even pulled handbrake just before inner zone 2, which is quite a big mistake, and we already saw it in today, and we took it very harshly. That's for me unsettled Nasser's run throughout the whole track. However, the other two judges thought that after the deceleration coming to outer zone 4, Nasser had enough chances to reset, and that mistake coming to outer zone 6 was then not caused by a problem in the beginning of the track. That's why they put it one more time.
Thank you very much, David, and thank you for the explanation. So those guys are going to go one more time. We're going to see them in competition once they get those fresh tyres reset and ready to go again. We go back on the start line to Makiva versus Pavel Korpolinski. The Northern Smoke Machine sits on the line in the lead position.
Yeah, taking on the surgeon. We got the wildest man on track.
I mean,
versus one of the most technical. How does this play? Well, one of them's gonna. I mean, it's tough. I was gonna say one of them has to concede a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they're both just gonna run the way that they're gonna run. Dwayne's gonna come out, hock a ton of angle, be just the wild man that we know, and then Powell's gonna go out and be the surgeon. He's gonna lay down a perfect line. So, interesting battle.
It certainly is an interesting battle. Look at that. Makiva smokes the tyres off the line, almost does a rolling burnout before he gets that 2JZ 186 off. And look at the big angle initiation from Dwayne Makiva. He goes super wide. He's off the track. His 4 wheels off. But Makiva and Korpolinski goes for a legal overtake into outside zone 4. And what are we seeing here? Red Bull Drift Masters, round 3, and Makiva fires in, almost takes out Korpolinski. Wow.
Jeez.
Oh, Makiva spins the car around at the finish line. Whoa.
He's going to need those tires. I don't know if he knows that. I mean, he does. He's upset. He's very upset. Yep. Wow.
Wow, that is a very angry Dwayne Makiva, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this, fires the car in, completely loses grip, stays on the throttle, and then the car just washes off the track.
It seems to be that line. Like that further out line, track left, where the drivers are losing it. It's if you're not leaving that area super quick. Look at there is debris out there, and I think that's what it is. If you're not on that standard drifting line, if you will, there's no grip out there, and the drivers are losing it. So the big entry is fantastic, but if you don't get on throttle right away, you've got no grip, and you're just dancing in the marbles.
Wow.
Wow, big, and then I mean. Dwayne's not one to hide his emotions, so...
No, certainly not. He will...
And Pavel's got every right to make that pass there.
Yeah.
That is completely legal.
Yeah.
That is standard. You're not going to sit there and wait for him to get out of the grass.
No, if you are wondering, that is a full legal pass on the circuit. Obviously, the lead car has to be 4 wheels off track, and Dwayne Makiva was 4 wheels off track there in the grass. So Makiva, look at this, on the line, ready for the second half of the run. All he can hope now is that Pavel Korpolinski makes a similar mistake and fires that 2JZ S14A off track. And look at this for Makiva. Oh, absolutely bullying Pavel Korpolinski on initiation, but Korpolinski will deal with it. As now you'll see Dwayne Makiva in absolute kill mode as he fires onto the door of the S14A. Pavel Korpolinski, the surgeon, puts it to the wall, into outside zone 6, around, up to the wall, and Makiva is left across the line.
Oh, man. Dwayne just rips a 360 in the chase at the end. That's a wild move.
That is more than a wild move for Dwayne Makiva. Look at this.
That is a very frustrated Irishman, and rightfully so. Wow, I hate to say, I'm wondering if he ran out of tire a little bit. Ooh, Pavel Korpolinski takes a second to get off the line too, though. There might be a little more in this than we originally thought. Korpolinski normally a lot deeper through 4, pretty shallow through that section. Very uncharacteristic. And almost a hand out to say, what are you doing? Dwayne Makiva, though, I will praise his resilience, because I feel like he wanted to completely plow in the door of that car.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even know if he was going to come back to the start line at this point. I thought that after the first half of the run, maybe he would have said, "Do you know what? I'm done. I'm going to go back to the paddock."
Yeah, tough go for the Northern Smoke Machine.
Yeah, well, look, it can only go one way, and it's going to be Pavel Korpolinski getting the win. And unfortunately, we lose Dwayne McKeever in competition, who we're seeing back in Finland. But we do see Pavel Korpolinski make his way into the final four, and we only have one driver in there at the moment. We're going to move things on in action, where we're going to see now Kevin Passeur to take on Nicolas Bertens. The battle you've been waiting for, Jacob, is coming up in just a few moments' time. But Becky's down on the track with Pavel Korpolinski. Becky.
Pavel, congratulations on getting through that battle. You are our first entry into the semi-finals, but what was that like for you, suddenly realizing that you were ahead, but originally you were in the chase position?
Yeah, I didn't really know what happened when in the first corner Dwayne caught massive understeer, and I just tried to keep it on track, and I did. But yeah, it's very unlucky for him to start the battle that way. I knew that I need to do a decent lead run, and I will be going through. So yeah, I'm happy about it, but that's not really the way I want to win.
Can you give us a little track update? Obviously, this first corner is really starting to catch people out. Is it slippy out there, or are there marbles?
I think that the track is getting more grippy throughout the competition now, and at least my car has more tendency for understeer the further in competition we go.
Okay, thank you so much, Pavel. We'll see you in the semi-finals.
Thank you.
Oh, well, there we go. Pavel's car more prone to understeer on initiation. Wonder why that is.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're just dialing in more grip. The more grip you put in the rear means you need more in the front. You can only put in so much in the front.
Well, something interesting. Kevin Passeur, our higher qualifier, is going to be taking on Nicolas Bertens, but drops into the chase position first.
I'm thinking it's to make sure you've got the most tire in the chase to try and keep up with Nick Nack. But this is one of the only drivers that can actually cleanly outrun Passeur. I really do believe there's only a couple of them, but Nick Nack is definitely one of them. I think Passeur's just going, you know what? I want all the tire under me I can while I'm chasing you, and then we get in the lead, I'll let you deal with whatever comes up. This is a strategic move.
Well, it's been 763 days since Kevin Passeur stood on the top step of the podium. Could he do it this weekend here at Red Bull Drift Masters Round 3? They fire through the gears, and look at this. Already some separation opening up as Nicolas Bertens fires that Eurofire. 3 wheels off track, and another clean overtake as Kevin Passeur fires it into outside zone 4. Now starts to chase, be in the lead position and be chased down by Nicolas Bertens as Bertens tries to stick it to the rear wheel of Kevin Passeur and across the line.
Oh my gosh.
Did I see hands thrown up there as well by Nicolas Bertens in the chase position? I need a replay.
I know.
Here we go. Look, Bertens fires in shallow on 3, catches the understeer. Oh, I'm gonna say it's 3 wheels off track.
Yeah, it's not like it's a disrespectful move, but it kind of is, you know? Like, now, Passeur's got nowhere else to go. It's either Passeur does this, where it looked like he was on the right line. It's either he does that or he goes in the grass behind him or he just locks up the car completely. Yeah, at that point, Nick Nack's kind of just got to follow suit. There's nothing you can do. But it's definitely a statement. It's definitely saying something. Passeur had nowhere else to go, though.
But I mean, we say it's a legal overtake, and that's because Bertens was off the track.
If he wasn't, though, then it's not a legal overtake.
Yeah, exactly. This is all going to come down to how the judges deem it.
Yeah, we're getting word. He was off track. I was just trying to build some tension, but yeah.
I was going to say.
Judges got to be right.
Hey, there's a white line. There's a white line, Jacob, and I see 3 wheels over it.
Yeah, I know.
Right, so there we go. So it was a legal pass, ladies and gentlemen, being confirmed by our judges. So Kevin Passeur jumped into that lead position. Now he's back in the lead position again. Nicolas Bertens says, you're the only man so far that's been untouchable. What can you do? As he fires down as Kevin Passeur fires that car to angle into outside zone 3. Now Nicolas Bertens is going to try and jump up onto the side of that carbon fibre BMW, and he does as he noses the Eurofighter up the side of Kevin Passeur's BMW. Up into the wall they go. Passeur on an incredible lead line. Oh, contact as Nicolas Bertens has to bail out of it across the line.
The hard part for Nick Nack is just not being in your own head at that moment. You know you've got a massive detriment. It's kind of embarrassing to get past. It's not a great feeling to have that situation upon you, and you just got to keep a level head. And Nick Nack did a pretty good job with it, but he got really, really aggressive in parts of this, and unfortunately, it didn't all come together for him. There's still ways that you could win given that situation. They're very, very minimal, very unlikely, but it can happen, as we've seen a lot of unlikely things unfold earlier today. Yeah, for Kevin Passeur, it's just go down, lay down a solid lead run, and hopefully everything stays quite solid for you. Yeah, Nick Knack he needed to kind of bully Passeur around the run a little bit without doing anything too bad. He does. I mean, definitely bullies, gets that tire right up on that front fender, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Well, there we go. Out of the car, Kevin Passeur, the man that was on the top step of the podium at Valencia in 2024. Could he do it again this weekend? He's looking for it. And I don't think Nicolas Bertans does jump out of the car, and he'll know the way this is going to go. You know, if you get passed on track in drifting, you were off track and it's not going to swing your way. Side of left for Kevin Passeur, right for Nicolas Bertans, and it's going to be Kevin Passeur getting the win, advancing through. Nicolas Bertans knows that he made those errors, and it will be weekend over for the young Latvian. Not far to go before we head to his hometown, to his home track.
Yeah, I mean, Riga is going to be absolutely incredible. Here's Paolo Korpolinski back in the pits. I'm swapping over the wheels, getting some fresh rubber on there, and quick little debrief, little conversation there. There's going to be some corrections. There's new wheels and tires going on.
Yeah, fresh tires, fresh fuel, and a reset and a chat with his spotter as we go back on the line for the one more time battle between Itay Sada and Nasser Al Habali. Itay Sada sits on the line in that lead position once again. And Nasser Al Habali, the higher qualifier, opting to chase first.
All right. Fun little swap around. We're seeing some strategy being implemented here. We'll see how it all plays out for everybody.
There we go, thumbs up, slams the car into gear. The V8 400C creeps up on the star line as Itay Sada now in that carbon fiber BMW comes off the line. Look at this from Nasser Al Habali straight onto the back bumper. He knows he can't let him get away this time as he fires down. No messing around, no mistakes from either driver as Nasser Al Habali goes for it into outside zone 4. Itay Sada on a steady lead line at the moment as he flicks the back end of the car towards the wall outside zone 6. Nasser Al Habali absolutely glued to the side of the young man across the line.
He does not want one more time.
No more, one more. Yeah. Nasser Al Habali said, I am proving a point this time.
Yeah, I'm making a statement to say the least, and he just comes out absolutely cranking. Now, Itay Sada has got a great line coming through 4, everything looking really stable. It does allow Nasser a fantastic opportunity. That transition, though. He stays in the smoke line for a really long time, too. Great job through 5. That's a very difficult part of this track because you're kind of blind and you're just more or less trying to keep the timing down. And there's Nasser. Look at that. Quick little body check. Getting that car into the side, trying to take off some of that carbon fiber. But a phenomenal job there, Nasser Al Habali.
Nasser Al Habali is not messing around this weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
He's
here for business.
Yeah.
He's on a business trip. It's no holidays, no vacation for Nasser Al Habali. This is first class business trip. Get the job done, fly home.
Check his passport.
Yeah.
Says business.
Says business.
Yeah, business
first
to pleasure.
Class flight.
I'm here for business. Wow. Great run, great views. And we'll swap him around. Itay's he's got his hands full here. Quick little re-scrub of the tires.
Yeah, a smart move maybe for Itay Sada, knowing a lot of drivers coming into understeering issues on the initiation. As Nasser Al Habali now waits for that green light to go and pops the front up as he clicks that car through the gears down to initiation, and a little puff of tyre smoke as Nasser Al Habali fires that car in. Sada knows he can't let him get away, tags him, but it upsets himself. And Habali deals with it now as he flicks that carbon Kevlar 400Z into outside zone 4. Itay Sada tries to get himself back into the fight, but this is where he loses ground on the transitions into outside zone 6, and he's losing ground once again. Can he get onto the door of the carbon Kevlar 400Z across the line?
I mean, any other run, that chase is phenomenal. And it was a really, really good chase for Itay Sada, but is it going to be enough? I'm really not sure. It's a tough call. Nasser Al Habali's lead is looking really good. Great job over that initiation line. Itay just overcommits big.
I didn't see that from Sata. Goes way on the inside.
Yeah.
On the inside zone 2.
Yeah, similar issue to what he had earlier on today as well. Just not able to really extend all the way out into 3. Gets caught up in the dirt. He's got, at that point you can't. He has to cut the line, get back in. Makes for a pretty solid end of outside zone 4. But Nasser's ability to pick up speed through transition is incredible. And for Itay, it's going to be a little bit later on down the track before he's able to gain that proximity again. Yeah, Nasser Al-Abali, just phenomenal run and is getting better with every single battle.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like him and the car are in the zone.
Yeah.
Like man and machine are just absolutely dialed in, and it's so good to see, especially after we see Nasser Al-Abali, you know, bring a program to Drift Masters a few years back and just didn't have any form, couldn't really get any success, and now finds himself maybe in the final four to face off against Paweł Korpolinski, which is going to be incredible. And he'll know Paweł Korpolinski very well. They both competed in the local Polish championship where Nasser Al-Abali went for a full season before he came back to Drift Masters. And
what a great training ground.
Yeah,
right? You know, going to Poland to get better. That's, I mean, there's only a few places in the world where you can truly train and get better at a national program, and that's one of them.
Exactly that. Yeah. So Habali waiting in the car there to receive the decision. As we say, this is a business trip for Nasser Habali. He's not messing around. It's a wait alongside his car to see what the decision is as the judges now drop it in. Hands on the head for Itay Seda. I think he knows this could be the end of the weekend for him.
Yeah, I mean, every driver's going to have that feeling where you're sitting there just hoping it's a one more time, hoping maybe there's something that happened that even you didn't know, but we'll see what the judges end up thinking on this one. There's oftentimes where they find something we don't.
Here we go, sliding left for Habali, right for Itay Seda. It's going to be Nasser Al-Habali getting the win and advancing through to the final four for the first ever time here at Drift Masters, and he takes that beautiful carbon Kevlar 400C back to the paddock as he gives everybody on the grandstand a thumbs up and drives off.
Here we go. All of Ireland, I think it's time to get on your feet because this is going to be an incredible battle. We're talking about, I mean, a legacy that and records that I don't know if will ever be beaten in James Dean, and one of the fastest growing stars in Irish drifting, a rookie of the year, an up-and-comer, an incredible driver, Conor Falvey.
Yeah, let's hear from him right now.
My ideal goal would be to win for an event, because winning an event in front of a home crowd would be a dream come true. Definitely a big dream to have, because the drivers in this championship are unbelievably good, but I'm willing to take that risk.
Well, the up-and-coming superstar in Irish drifting now sits alongside a man that he would have watched for years coming over the hill here at Mondello Park and claiming all of the trophies. But this is his opportunity. This is his time to prove himself as Conor Falvey comes through the gears onto the back bumper of a Ford Mustang RTR. Dean fires that car in at 90 degrees as Falvey goes for a shallower line. Now fires through, shortcuts the circuit, dives down on outside zone 4. But Dean is on a flyer of an outside line right now as he puts that Mustang across the circuit and up into the wall. Can Falvey find some proximity? Can he find the side of the Mustang as Dean squeezes the throttle and drives away?
Now Conor Falvey just found out why we call him the machine.
Yeah.
Tough battle. I will say, James on initiation pretty good, but does start to scrub a little bit wide. You're going to see it on outside zone 2. Inside zone 2. He's not able to get that car to come all the way into it. It's a very rare mistake for James. Now, Conor does a good job of adapting to it, but unfortunately never is able to find the correct line on the track. You have to remember, all the rubber's put down in the zone, so if you find yourself off in foreign territory, it's going to be tough to find a bit more grip for the car, and Conor does struggle just a little bit to get that car to come back around. James, to the rest of this run, though, I mean, absolutely phenomenal. You can see a little bit of grimace on his face there into that transition. Now gets that car out to 4, working the brake, working the throttle, a little bit of clutch there. But yeah, phenomenal lead run there from James Dean outside of that inside zone 2. Conor Falvey took him just a little bit to find the pace, really get that throttle down, but he'll be taking the lead now, and James Dean is going to show off his chasing skills of just a little bit.
yeah, and now he has the man with multiple trophy cabinets full of trophies from drifting, breathing down his neck, trying to chase him down. Look at this, James Dean already creeping up onto the side and over that start line of Conor Falvey.
This is what we've come to for
start line
securing
marshal. Marcin just doing some on-track repairs. Yeah, look at this. Habali definitely business, because he's not getting out of the car at all.
Now he's stuck in there, and yeah, he's going to have an interesting battle against Korpolinski a little bit later on in a car that he originally wasn't even sure if he was going to drive this season.
Yeah, he
brought it just in case.
Yeah, he pulled 2 cars over from Dubai to compete here at Drift Masters and fell in love with driving the 400Z and said, I'm going to just keep driving this car. Well, here we go, off the line. It's going to be Falvey to lead out James Dean for a spot in the final four. Awaits for one of these drivers as Falvey fires that 2JZ S15 in over the hill. James Dean gives him the room, now starts to rein in, starts to breathe down the neck of the young superstar as Falvey fires into outside zone 4. It's absolutely perfect lead line at the moment as Dean pops through the smoke. They fire towards the wall. Dean absolutely clinical, but Falvey's lead line is absolutely textbook, and Dean can't find the door across the line.
Interesting. The plot has thickened. I think lead for lead, Falvey might have this. He caught all the zones, most notably that second inside zone. That's a big point here. So Falvey just a little bit off that line, but he's able to gain that speed a little bit to get back into the second zone, third zone looking good. Outside zone 4, he is locked in. James now starting to hunt down the young gun. You can see the size difference in these two vehicles. There's James looking ahead, trying to find the door of the young countryman. Oh man, great chasing here. And you can just see how much work it takes for James Dean to really get that car into a good spot. And there's Falvey. Transitions looking sorted through 5. Back around, there's James going for that big dive. We're gonna see it here on the wall cam. Oh, perfect little kiss.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, look, this means a whole lot to James Dean. Not only does he want to put that Ford Mustang RTR on the top step of the podium in Ireland, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years. It was 24 since the last time that James Dean stood on the podium, April 16th.
Well, I mean, top step, yeah.
Top step on the podium here at Drift Masters. So it's been a minute.
789 days to be specific.
Did you just do that maths?
Real quick. Yeah, I can't remember how many minutes that would be, but yeah, it's a lot of them.
Yeah, you're just embarrassing.
Who's counting?
Just stop with the numbers. Well, here we go. Both guys out of the car, weighing the decision, and we'll see who will be taking it through to the final 4. Both good friends behind the scenes. Side of left for Falvey, right for James Dean. It's going to be a one more time.
Wow.
It's going to be a one more time. David Kalas, we quickly come to you. So good, we're going to see it twice.
Yeah, we are looking forward to see it once more. But a lot comes to the first run where James Dean was having incorrect line coming to the guidelines and inner zone 2. Here you can clearly see it, he's going very, very wide. Then Conor is doing really great job because he's able to get behind James. And once he's doing transition to the big zone in the second corner, he's a little bit caught there, but that's because of the wrong line of the leader. So until that point, we were giving advantage to Conor. However, from this point, he should redeem the proximity, and we wanted to see the proximity, which we did not see the same amount of proximity which James was able to do in his chase. So because he was not able to make the push for the last part of the track, we gave it one more time.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, and unbelievable. So we got a little bit of break on track because we need to get those cars turned around. We can't move on in competition. This is the final battle of our top 8. Sorry, my apologies. One of these drivers will be the final driver to enter the final 4. So there is going to be a small break in track action for a moment as both those guys down there in the paddock. We're going to see live scenes from the Drift Games Falvey pit area, and you can see, look at Jack Shanahan down there in the car, in the ear, and you can also see the guys from Dave Egan's side of the team working on the car too.
Interesting to see them pulling some tire pressure out as well. Now, they would have it set to a certain level ahead of time, and then they can make some balance changes out of that, but airing it down.
Even Dwayne McKeever's team down there working on the car. It's a real Irish affair. And this is what we talk about when, we spoke about this at the beginning of the show, beginning of the weekend. The heart of Irish drifting, the heart of Irish motorsport. This is why this is so, globally known. And look at paired next to each other as well.
Oh yeah, they're right there.
So they're right next to each other. But these guys, other drivers, other teams will all jump in and help out. You see James Dean in the car there, just taking a minute to reflect and going to adjust the belts, maybe a little tighter for the next run over the hill.
Yeah, just trying to get comfy back in that car. He is sweating too.
He would have done the typical James Dean bottle of water on.
Oh, good call. Good call. Yeah. It's a good reminder too for all the Irish fans in attendance. Reapply your sunscreen. This is uncharacteristic weather for you, and I want to make sure everyone is safe. Yeah, a little bit more fuel back in the car, and really they only put enough fuel in those cars to do those 2 runs, and that's going to be about it. So try to save as much weight as you can. James Dean, those are some tight belts. There we go. Oh, even torque in the lugs. Love it. Look at that.
I mean, the professional
They
race
are very
teams now.
professional. Star pattern and everything.
No half measures.
No half measures. There we go, cameras attached. This is going to be a quick turnaround. Did I hear a grinder going?
Yeah, so it looks
bumper.
like they're just going to cut.
Oh,
yeah, because of the, we see Martin screw that bumper to the front wing down there on the start line after a little bit of a contact. They're just going to cut that bumper down ever so slightly to make sure it clears. You can see Shanahan's down there, all of the Drift Games crew. You can see, look at Conor Shanahan even down there having a word with Conor Falvey. Both of those guys, don't forget, have beat James Dean before, so they know what it takes.
Both of those guys want Conor to beat James Dean
for the
championship points. So there's a vested interest in this for them. Like they kind of need this. They need to slow down James the Machine Dean. And some advice. You saw Jack in there kind of telling him this is where you need to position yourself on. I believe at initiation they were kind of talking about
invaluable information.
Huge, and yeah, it's big. So looks like this isn't a race, but I mean James won this part. Back out.
So there we go, James Dean heading back off to the start line. We're going to see him in the car. Look at that big sigh. I think he must sit there and think, what do I do now?
Yeah.
It was his own mistake.
He's got to clean up inner two. That's really the big one that the judges talked about. But it's tough. As you add that rear grip in, the front grip's going to suffer just a little bit. And it's a little bit of a trek to the backside of the track. You got some time to think about it. Going to run it through the gears. They might scrub the fronts in a little bit, check the alignment. A lot of these drivers are going to have a ritual that they go through every single time. Gets them in the right headspace. I mean, there it is. Yeah, scrub the fronts. Make sure everything feels good. A deliberate understeer, and that's going to pull those big chunks of rubber off the front wheels.
Well, so Conor Falvey's crew chief is down there. Darren McNamara, and Becky Evans is with him.
Darren, we just saw you taking that one last look over that car there, sending Conor back out to the line. Now, you and your family have been around drifting for many, many years now. What is it like watching a young driver go from, the small ranks to now sitting on that line against one of the titans of the sport?
Yeah, well, look, it's been an unbelievable weekend for Drift Games. That's just it. So when any car comes in, we just try to help out. So the guys that actually run Conor's car, they're doing a great job this weekend. But he gets to go against James, which is a great place to be because he's got nothing to lose. He can go flat out, and we know James, no games or nothing. Everyone is great mates here. So, and the Deans take care of Conor's car, of course. So we try and help each other out, help James out, everything. So it's been a great weekend for the Irish. It's been a great event. So and Drift Games is we've had our best weekend yet. So very happy, and yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying it.
For everybody out there, I mean, the McNamara family, they've been around drifting for so long. Obviously, Kieran's out there doing the judging. What is it like to see the sport evolve so much over these years to where we are right now?
Well, you're making me feel old, Becky, but...
I am.
Yeah, thanks. No, I've been here a long time. I remember coming to Mondello and getting black flagged off the track for doing a bit of sliding, and it's amazing to see how far it comes, and to have the attendance for these events and what we love is great, but there's great support from the track, from the crowd, obviously, and these guys here, they put their life and soul into it. We're not here for the financial gain, and that's for sure, but it's great that this sport is so loved here, and we do have a great background behind me. The family, of course, we did a lot to start it, and yeah, it's great to see it come, and who knows, I might even come back myself sometime.
Well, we heard it here first. Thanks so much, Darren, and best of luck to both competitors.
Well, there we go.
Breaking news.
There was a groan from everybody around Mondello Park at that point.
Well, I think the groan in the rule book is the big groan.
Yeah, Kieran Hines was judging our Red Bull Drift Pursuit this weekend, so a massive thank you to him for helping along with that. Right, interesting news. James Dean opting to chase first.
I like it. Wow.
Well, here we go. We are into it straight away. Both cars warmed up, both on the line. It's a one more time battle as the light goes green. Conor Falvey to lead out James Dean as they slam through the gears. James Dean, that grimace, that look, that stare over the helmet as he flicks the car to angle. Conor Falvey fires in. James Dean giving him room to manoeuvre. But the lead line from Falvey at the moment is absolutely unbelievable as he sticks it to outside zone 4 and stands on the accelerator. Dean now starting to find the proximities. He looks for the back bumper, the rear bumper, the side of that S15, and Dean with him as they flex body panels across the line.
Big moves for both of them. Falvey stepping up his game once again, and James, he had to push the pace. He knew it. One more time is unacceptable in his books. You've got to keep going. Look at this. Conor Falvey, fantastic through the first zones. 1, 2, and there it is, 3. Transition out to 4. A little bit more hesitation. They are allowed to decel in that area. Now gets it locked in. It takes until then for James to really enter into the fight. James is kind of chasing all the way through. Doesn't really get into the side of Falvey. And maybe a bit more hesitation on that initiation, but no hesitation here. There it is.
Wow.
Couple little taps to the door, and even on that transition, James Dean back to the aggressive nature. Doesn't care how young this kid is, he's going to bully him around track.
He certainly is. He's going to push him around, that's for sure. And James Dean just tagging the door and then dragging that wheel right along the side of the S15, ripping the back bumper off across the line. Conor Falvey, though, the lead line was absolutely beautiful, Jacob.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I'm wondering, James, I know the tire battle's not a massive thing, but the sun is out. They're adding a bit more grip to the car. They're getting a little more aggressive. You can see, you start to see the wear bars now on those tires. And I'm wondering if that was part of James's play, where he goes, okay, I'm going to let him wear off a bunch of his tread in the lead. I'll have a little bit more left, a little more than he does, and let's play it out and see where it goes. So there's the speed tape back out again.
Yeah, Martin with the packet tape, getting ready to package her up and send her on. There is the view inside.
Oh,
the Falvey Drift Games paddock, as those guys all wait on nervously, and you can see down there some names in Irish drifting all hanging around in the paddock, watching on the broadcast to see who will get the win and advance through to the Final Four. Could it be Conor Falvey's first time in the Final Four? Drift Masters here at Mondello Park. Red Bull Drift Masters. Our starline Marshall gives him a bang on the window. He gives him the thumbs up. He's ready to go. He's laser focused right now.
This is big. This is really, really big. And I think we're all collectively holding our breaths to see, is this James Dean continuing a championship charge, or will we see the young gun take down an absolute titan?
There we go, they get the thumbs up all round, the lights start to go as Conor Falvey jumps off the line instantly. They can't let James Dean get away. They are side by side as Dean slams through the gears in the Ford Mustang RTR. He flicks that car to initiation, and now Falvey on him straight away, no messing around. Falvey goes for the big aggression on initiation as Dean fires into outside zone 4. Conor Falvey jumps up onto the door. Is he closer than Dean? He goes for it on the outside zone. They fire onto the wall. Falvey looking to make a move up onto the side of the Mustang RTR as they get it across the line. Wow!
Whoa! Massive. That dive at the beginning is just huge. Just absolutely huge. That is so much commitment for Conor Falvey. Let's take a look at it again. Look at this. James Dean having to thread the needle. A little bit of understeer again for James Dean. Now he does a better job getting back out there. And Conor's got to adapt. He does a really good job. He doesn't lose focus and then goes in for a big dive. He gets into 4 really early in the chase. Now he's gaining that proximity, holds back just a little bit. He lets James transition, mirrors it quite well through 5. That's a really tough spot. And here it is. That's James Dean in through 4, and he can tell one more time. Little bit of clutch work there. Clutch kick there. Back on that left foot breakthrough transition. He's such a master. If he wasn't a driver, he'd be a drummer, that's for sure. Look at this, Conor Falvey does such a great job mirroring all the way through that section, and then starts to make the creep in through 6. Keeps the proximity. Last dive at the end. Oh, what a statement.
That's a statement on that final outside zone. Just creeps up onto the door. It's unbelievable. Falvey really on a march.
Oh, man. Wow. Oh, these slow-mos just show. Both cars are just absolutely battled and bruised, and I mean, just wild.
Wow, unbelievable. Well, here we go. Look at these slow-mo shots from our judges still deliberating this one. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that they're looking at the initiation from the first half of the run, and they start to now make some notes. Some words are being spoke between the judges. Who's it going to be? Who will get the win and move into the Final Four to face off against Kevin Pascolti? The crowd eagerly await the decision. Everybody around Mondello Park eagerly awaits the decision. Only one Irishman will make it into the Final Four. Look at this. The tension is too much here at Red Bull Drift Masters Round 3 at Mondello Park. And the judges don't know. Nobody knows. There's big deliberation going on right now.
I'm stressing right now. I can't sit down. I got to move around. They're nitpicking everything. They have to. They're taking a look at the initiation specifically. That's what they seem to keep going back to. So here's James Dean. He supersedes 1. Does a good job through 2. And that's what I think they're looking at there is outside zone 1. Look at James Dean. That's 2 wheels off. That's big.
Oh, wow.
That could be the deciding factor right there. I think no matter what we do, we're talking to David Klass when this is over.
Yeah, we certainly are. We know Becky's down there ready for an interview as well with one of these drivers, so we're going to find out who's going to get it when it's in. Slide it left for Falvey, right for James Dean. It's Conor Falvey!
Oh, my God!
Conor Falvey takes down James Dean at Drift Masters Masters Red Bull round 3, and he gets himself into the final 4. Unbelievable from the young Irishman, and there is the reaction down there in the Falvey pits, and the team can't believe it. The Shanahans give him a round of applause, and he did it. Conor Falvey takes down James Dean. We're going to come to the judges in a few moments' time. We are going to hear from Conor Falvey down there on the ground. We know Becky's trackside ready for an interview in any moment's time now. And look at this. Now the team get ready. Becky's down there with Conor Falvey. Becky, it's over to you.
Conor Falvey, congratulations. That is your biggest battle to date. You've just taken down James Dean and you're into the semi-final. Can you tell me what's running through your mind right now? Disbelief is the look on your face.
Becky, I have no idea. I feel like I'm moments away from crying, to be honest. It feels like a dream to take down Peter and James in the same day. It's my wildest dreams. I'm so happy.
Absolutely, and you should be so proud. Look at all these fans out here for you. Look at the noise that they're making. It's now back to business. You've got a big battle coming up with Kevin Piscotty, so put the game face back on and congratulations.
Thanks very much, Becky.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Becky. The last Irishman standing, and it all goes on Conor Falvey's shoulders. David Callas, we come to you. That was an unbelievable battle, but it looks like it all came down to the initiation from James Dean.
Yeah, it all come to that point, but we also need to say that Conor did really good job. He was trying to be close from the beginning, and it was helpful for his score. We can see that James hit it with 2 wheels the curb, which is deduction. It is not huge deduction, but the biggest problem is coming afterwards. As he's hitting the curb, the car over-rotates, and he needs to adjust to get back on the line towards outer zone 3, and that adjustment was just too much, too big mistake to let him allow to go through.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, we're taking a look back at the replay, and Jacob called it as well. You know, it wasn't a massive points deduction, but the 2 wheels up over-rotated the car, and James had to adjust and get back into it. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're into our final 4 right now, and this is how it's going to play. It's going to be Pavel Korpolinski to take on Nasser Al-Habali for a spot in the final and the 3rd and 4th place playoff. Then it's going to be Kevin Purser to take on Conor Falvey for also a place in the final and a place in the 3rd and 4th playoff. It's getting heated, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the final 4. Well, there's no break in the action because we keep it rolling here at Drift Masters, and we are straight back on the line with the first battle of our final 4, and this is it. Every spot now counts. It's for a spot in the final. Who will be there? Will it be the surgeon, Pavel Korpolinski, the man that's trying to build on a championship? Will it be Nasser Al-Habali back in Drift Masters for 2026, a full season, looking to make moves after a failed attempt last time? And this time, he's brought the equipment, he's brought the mindset, and he's brought the talent.
Oh man, all to play for. If I can use your term, this is it. This is the start of the end for one of these drivers.
It certainly is. Well, here we go. 2 shots at the podium. They fire through. Nasser Al-Habali gives Pavel Korpolinski room to manoeuvre. He finds himself up on the curb. Korpolinski, as clinical as always, fires into outside zone 4. Now Nasser Al-Habali finds a side of that 2JZ S14A as they fire through. Body panel shred as they fire up onto the wall once again. Habali not messing around. Goes for a dive once again on the final outside zone.
Wow, Pavel just doing exactly what he needs to do. He is in such fine form right now. The perfection is there. His lead runs, once again, are just so incredible. Look at this, all the way through that line from 2 to 3. It doesn't feel like there's any adjustment. Now into 4, gets that car sunk in, and there's now Nasser trying to close up that gap, trying to gain as much proximity. I didn't think he'd make it out there based on the way that he started off. He was way far back, and it's such a tough run out all the way there to make it happen. But does a phenomenal job to get back into proximity. Look at this, Pavel Korpolinski just is not phased at any point in time. Look, he's a little bobblehead in there, just along for the ride.
He's so relaxed driving that car. He looks, oh, look at that, boom, destroys back end. Almost takes the drone out with the tailgate of the back of that S14A, and I'm sure our start line Marshall Martin will be down there on the start line doing a few repairs to that car. Habali, though, really is stamping some authority on it.
Yeah, you have to end strong. You gotta end with a bang. It's the best way to keep it. Yeah, to keep it in the judge's mind. If you finish that run, oh wow. I mean, well, the boot lid's completely gone. The bumper might as well be. Trying to figure out what to tape it to, but a lot of these cars are I mean, there's bodies on them, but it's not much.
No, there's not much of it left, and most of these cars now, the only steel panels on them are the roof. Not even that, some of them.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're going to do a little bit of trackside repairs with Marcin, and you can follow along to his new series online.
Trackside repairs with Marcin.
Marcin's trackside repairs.
It's a lot like Bob Ross, but we use impact guns. You know what? I would watch that. Falvey, oh my gosh. He's got it. I mean, I get it. This is the biggest moment in his life.
This is the moment he's been waiting for in his career.
He has taken down two of the biggest names in drifting history today. Yeah. Let's not be lost in the fact that Piotr Vincek, James Dean. Wow.
Back to back in the same weekend on his home track, and he has Jack Shanahan and the whole of the Shanahan's crew, and you can see multiple figures in Irish drifting down there. You can see Kieran Hines in the background. You can see James Dean's father there talking to the Shanahan family, talking to the Falvey family. We can't alliterate enough how much of a family it is here in Ireland.
Well, and Jack had already battled Vasseur earlier on, so he's going to have a lot of info. That's a new technique there. But yeah, it's as much information as you can get. And I mean, he's allowed to be emotional, I get it, but right now, you got to put it away. You just got to get back into it and not let that affect you. You'll have time to celebrate later.
I think you need to take the Nasser Al-Habali mindset.
Yeah.
Strictly business.
Just all business.
Doesn't get out of the car.
Yeah.
Here we go. Back on the line, they slam those cars into gear. Pavel Korpolinski to chase down Nasser Al-Habali as Habali smokes the tyres off the line in that supercharged V8 Nissan 400T. They come through the gears. Look at this. Korpolinski looks for the back bumper of the 400T as now he loses a little ground initiation, shallows up the angle and waits for Nasser Al-Habali to set himself in to outside zone 4. Will he make a dive? Will he park that 2JCS4 into the door? And he can't kind of find the proximity at the moment as Habali fires it towards the wall. It's absolutely beautiful once again for Nasser Al-Habali, and Korpolinski needs to put a wheel on the door, and he does across the line.
Another tough one. Nasser's lead game once again has continued to develop. His line, very similar to what we saw with Paolo, is phenomenal. Look at this, comes through 2. Almost no adjustment out to 3. He's got a little bit of left foot brake drag. That's very common through that section to keep that car stable, to keep that depth. And then through 4, he is just on rails. For Paolo Korpolinski, Jay's game upping as well. I mean, both these drivers, you're getting runs in throughout the day, so you're just going to get better. You're beating drivers that are better, and you're going to continue to become just an incredible driver by the time you get to this point in competition. But you got to keep stepping it up, and that's what we've seen from both these steely competitors. Oh, Pavel Korpolinski, look at this. Closing the gap. Even on his transition after the line, he's still in parallel.
Yeah, unbelievable. Both guys out of the car though, are waiting that decision, and Nasser Al-Habali says it's a bit warm in there. I need to take a step out for a moment and get some fresh air. If he goes side him left for Korpolinski, right for Nasser Al-Habali. It's going to be Pavel Korpolinski takes a step into the final. And look what it means to the surgeon. The Polishman gets a step into the final. Pavel Korpolinski now starts to build on a championship fight in 2026.
Yeah, this is the beginning of a big run for him. I mean, comes into this in 4th place, and we'll see where everything lands once the champagne has started to dry and where the point standings are. But for Korpolinski, this could be the defining moment of this season for him. As now we see Kevin Vasseur taking his time just a little bit, getting his head straight, heading to that back section of the track and getting ready for an incredible battle against what feels like an unstoppable Conor Falvey.
Yeah, Conor Falvey looks like he's on an absolute mission this weekend to do some damage to the championship, and as he makes his way up to the back end of the paddock, and you can see the fans and everybody around all of Mondello Park, the heart of Irish motorsport. Yeah. Everybody out this weekend to support it. Look at this from Falvey, the way he scrubs the tyres on the way to the start line. And a lot of drivers saying this is critical.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, the way that they're picking up rubber on the front tires right now, any bit of understeer, just one chunk of rubber left on there could mean the difference between putting it in the dirt and putting it on the podium.
Yeah, exactly that. So here we go. We see Kevin Vasseur out the back end of the circuit, ready to warm tyres on that M50 Turbo BMW. And Conor Falvey pulls up behind him to get ready for one of the biggest battles of his career right now.
This is it. This is the biggest battle so far. We'll see how it all lines up. I mean, Vasseur, same thing. This is massive for him. This is absolutely massive.
Interesting fact, Kevin Purser, the only guy left in the Final Four that has stood on the top step of the podium. He knows what it takes to win a round of Drift Masters.
Yeah, and right now it's unlimited grit and determination and just pure focus. You cannot let anything else creep into your mind, and that's going to be the big battle, is the one between the ears for Conor Falvey. He's got to put everything else aside. This is just another day of drifting. It has to be just another day of drifting.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's just another weekend. A lot of these drivers will say that it's just another run. It's just another practice run between two guys. It means nothing. Don't think about the pressure. Just think about getting around the track, doing the best job you can in the lead position and what you can do in that chase position as well. But it's been 2 years since Kevin Purser stood on that top step on the podium, and he'll want that once again.
Yeah, and he's going to need it. He wants a bit of that redemption as well to come back and cement his place. And for Conor, it's now, this is big. I mean, really, the weight of Ireland is on his shoulders, but you can't think about that. You cannot fall into that trap. You just got to focus on what's ahead. And right now, it's a Kevin Purser who's very, very fast. He's incredibly committed. And look at this. This is nervous laughter from the entire group, all of them surrounded in one garage. The amount of history in that room right now is incredible. The amount of wins and trophies and just pure drifting is in one garage right now. Man, to be a fly on the wall.
And that's history right there.
Yeah.
That's history of Irish drifting, all in one
from the
pit
start.
garage.
Oh my God.
From the beginning to the end, that is Irish drifting history in one pit garage, watching one TV monitor to see if the new young gun of Irish drifting can do it. Can he put Ireland on the top step of the podium this weekend? And that is what every single Irish person wants. Every single Irish drifter in the paddock wants now. But they have to go through this man. This Estonian that's been absolutely flawless in past events. A man that is renowned for being incredibly fast.
This wait right now has got to feel like centuries. Just waiting for that go, to scrub in the tires, to get back into your ritual. And there's Conor Falvey flying into frame. And once again, everything you've got to put aside. This is just another day of drifting for them, but everything to do for. This is it. This is history in the making right now, folks. Oh, I'm ready for it.
Well, I think everybody's ready for it, Jacob. I think the whole place here at Mondello Park is ready for it. I think everybody is on the edge of their seats, because I can tell you right now I am, and I see the judges eagerly awaiting to see who's going to take it through. Look at the tension in the grandstand as everybody eagerly awaits to see two titans of drifting come over the hill here at Mondello Park. And this isn't even the final battle. This is just for a spot in the final. The loser of this battle will go into the third and fourth place playoff. Will it be Falvey? Will it be Kevin Purser? Conor Falvey pulls in to the lead position. Purser opting to chase first. It didn't work for James Dean. Will it work for Kevin Purser?
I mean, it worked for him against Nick Knack, and maybe that's the plan right now. I mean, I will say Conor Falvey is a very different driver. Man, Kevin Purser's got so much work cut out for him right now, because Falvey's he's got everything.
Certainly has got everything. As the light goes green, they're off the line. It's going to be Conor Falvey to lead out Kevin Purser as they scream through the gears. Conor Falvey fires in that S15 and he gives Kevin Purser something to think about as he fires that car in, but Purser goes for a wild transition, but it's super early. Can he make it work? He can, as the Estonian now looks for the door of the S15, but Falvey's unfazed as he puts it to the wall and slams onto the throttle. Purser looks for the door and tacks the side of the S15 across the line.
If we were looking for an easy win, it's not coming today, and it's not coming right now. Both drivers are absolutely on it. These cars are on such a knife edge. There was a time where I thought Falvey was going to bin the entire thing, and there was a time where I thought Purser was going to give it all up, but neither of them do. Purser on a pretty tight line there. He makes that correction, does a great job, but Falvey's lead is looking really, really good. But as you said, Purser, the transition a bit early makes it work. It's just adapting with what is thrown at you right now. Look at Falvey. No understeer whatsoever. That alone is a win in my books. Coming over the hill, all that compression on the side of that S chassis. Purser with an incredible transition. Couldn't put anything between them. Now we come into that last big outside zone. Now Purser gets it into the pocket, and Falvey, he is locked in. Look at that. He could be half asleep right now. It is just autopilot. He knows what he needs to do because he got himself to this position. He's just got to continue to drive that way, and that tension. Look at it. Yeah. Get in there. Come on. Oh, so excited.
Well, there we go. That's what it meant down there in the Falvey paddock, and you can see everyone's reaction to the first half of the run. But this is where it matters right now as Kevin Purser sits on the line. The Estonian will lead out the Irishman, Conor Falvey. The light goes green. Falvey already starting to creep. What can he do as he comes through the gears? He's side by side with Kevin Purser. He jumps onto the back bumper. Purser fires it in. And Conor Falvey, there it is on the door of initiation as Conor Falvey brings the aggression. Purser fires into outside zone 4, but there's no shaking the Irishman as Falvey stands on the throttle once again. He cannot shake Conor Falvey. They fire across the circuit. Purser goes wide as Conor Falvey follows him. Can he stick into the door across the line? And he can!
Holy!
Wow!
Hardest thing to do at this track is to try and get doors on initiation, and Conor Falvey went for it. I don't know if I saw anybody get that close through 1, 2, and 3. Look at this. That's full commitment. That's full trust to come through 2 basically on the door, and Purser misses 3. That could be it. That could be the moment right there. Falvey, just so much pressure. This is how you win from the chase. You just bully the other driver in that transition. Falvey could have tore off the entire front end of his car. Look at this. He is on him all the way through, and then through that transition back around, he's already on the door of Purser through 4. Purser, he's got so much pace in that car, so much speed. And that transition, it shows you Falvey's not blinking at all through this run. He is completely locked in. Look at that. Wow. We're seeing a legend in the making right now.
History is being rewritten right now here at Mondello Park, and Kevin Purser, a whole host of mistakes creeping in to that lead run, and I think we are seeing an Irish superstar come to life right here in front of our eyes at Red Bull Drift Masters Island. Look at that.
Oh
Purser
my gosh.
gives him the handshake, slide him left for Purser, right for Falvey. There's a spot in the final for Conor Falvey. Conor Falvey takes the win and moves to the final of the Red Bull Drift Masters round 3 here in Mondello Park, and look what it means to the fans and the paddock. Wow.
I'm tearing up a little.
Hey, don't go crying on me yet. We're not even at the podium.
I know, but this just feels like such a win for everybody. Conor Falvey will be standing on the podium now. It's just, again, put it all behind you and get ready for the battle of your life for that top step.
Well, Conor Falvey, whatever happens, will take second step on the podium. He is down there on track with Becky Evans. Becky, what a day for Conor Falvey.
What a day indeed for Conor Falvey. Conor, this must feel surreal right now. Take a second to breathe it in. This is the furthest you've ever got in Drift Masters. This is going to be your first spot in the finals. Can you tell us what's happening for you right now? Can you hear them?
I genuinely can't believe it. I am unbelievably grateful for my team and family. We have put everything into this, and to get in our first final genuinely means the world to me. It means so much. Me and my family have dedicated literally everything for this, and to be in a final now means everything. And I'd just like to thank everyone who came here in attendance today for their support. It's been absolutely unbelievable.
Well, Conor, get yourself back in the zone, get yourself back in your car, and we'll see you in the final. Very best of luck.
Well, there he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Conor Falvey gets himself to his first ever Drift Masters final, and I can confirm that whoever takes the top step of the Red Bull Drift Masters round 3 podium here will be a brand new face on the top step. Will it be Pavel Korpelinski? Will it be Conor Falvey? We, of course, obviously have our 3rd and 4th place playoff before that, and it will be Nasser Al-Habali to take on Kevin Purser. But what a day of drifting here at Red Bull Drift Masters round 3. This championship never ceases to amaze me, Jacob.
No, it's incredible. Every time we think we know how this is going to play out, it just throws it on its head. And this year's Ireland has got to take the cake for the most exciting round, at least in Ireland, that we've ever had, if not ever. This is wild. To just say that, like, we've never seen one of these drivers on the top step, and we get to see that today, no matter what happens. Even our 3rd place for Nasser Al-Habali against Kevin Purser, both of them doing an incredible job. Nasser really coming into his own on this one, and Kevin Purser, that podium that he's missed for so long, he's back in contention for it. No matter what happens from here on out, this is an event to be remembered forever.
It certainly is. It's something that we're not going to forget. And look at that. For me, Kevin Purser, he knew.
Yeah.
He was pointing at Falvey straight away. He was like, it's you. It's you, buddy. It's not me. I made the mistake. Look at this. This is a reception that Conor Falvey just received down there in the paddock from all of the rest of the drivers that are out of competition, all of the fans, all of Irish history as they all celebrate him. And Conor Falvey sits in that car and he can't quite believe it. as his main chief mechanic down there as well. He has a word with him, and he says, "How's it all going?"
Yeah. I can't imagine what's going through his head. I think the emotions are kind of gone now, and it's just back to business. I mean, to say what the kids are saying, he's got to lock in. This is it. This is the biggest moment for him.
For me, what is so interesting is seeing how many different now people from around the paddock that have been knocked out of competition or they're still hanging around. They've all made it over to the Falvey pit area because they know the buzz, the atmosphere. They know what's going on down there, and the team are going to quickly get this car turned around. And James Dean is now going to give Falvey a little bit of advice before he heads to the final, because James Dean, a man that has been in more finals than any other driver here on the grid.
Yeah, and you have to remember too, like James right now is probably having flashbacks to the first time this happened.
He did it, yeah.
Yeah, for Conor, for Jack, for all of them, it's the same thing. It's like, yep, I remember when I was in this spot. This is what you need to do. This is what you got to do against the Paweł Korpelinski. I would love to know what they're saying.
But this is the other thing as well. Most of these drivers would have battled Paweł before. I know that Jack and Paweł have a big history of battling each other. Jack will be giving Conor that information, saying to him, like, look, this is what Paweł does. This is where you need to be.
And a lot of it is just taking that tension off him. A little bit of distraction.
Yeah.
Hey, you're just here with the lads.
Having a laugh. This is just another bash weekend here at Mondello Park. We're in cheap cars. We're having some fun.
It's just good crack.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And here we go.
And you can see the tuner down there plugged in to the ECU. But let's have a look at the road to the final for Paweł Korpelinski, because this man is, once again, we call him the surgeon for a reason. He's absolutely clinical, Jacob.
Yeah, big run here against Oliver Randalou, who was on form. I mean, none of these are easy battles for him. He had to fight an entire way through an Oliver Randalou that seemed quite on form with a pretty solid run there, but ultimately Paweł ends up taking the win there. And then he moves on against a Kuba who just became an unleashed beast. So another driver that's in kind of a new stage of his driving career with a lot more excitement and craziness than we'd ever seen before.
Yeah, certainly so. And then I mean, look, it's just... So he seems so unfazed.
Yeah, I know.
It just doesn't. It's just normal business. Yeah,
but then to take on a Dwayne McKeever after that. Now Dwayne just over committing a little bit too much, and Paweł's got a bit easier of a time there. But just the stress of taking on the Northern Smoke Machine alone is enough to shorten your lifespan. But Paweł Korpelinski just does it in such clean fashion. You can tell right now he's still locked in, and it really wasn't until the battle with Nasser where you can tell the emotion, and he realized just how far he had come. Nasser Al-Abali just showing that aggression all the way through. He was a likely favorite after coming out of qualifying. We saw the potential in him, but ultimately Paweł Korpelinski, with all of the ability and all of the surgical precision that he's got, took it, and there it is, that moment when he realized he was off to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, and that's sigh of relief, that release of energy. And look at this, Falvey sitting in the car, having a refreshment. But this is how he made it all the way to the final. The biggest battle of his career was on the line at the first step of the way for him, taking down this man, Peter Więcek. Więcek creating his own destiny, unfortunately clipping that curb after initiation, understeering, and handing Conor Falvey the win. And I think that gave Conor Falvey the confidence he needed, and you could tell in Więcek's face that he'd made the mistake and it was all Falvey's to take home.
Yeah, just getting those jitters out of the way.
Yeah, and then he took down this man, Mika Keski-Kobe, the man that was on an absolute stormer this weekend and on the podium at the last round in Spain. And unfortunately for Mika Keski-Kobe, he just didn't have what it took to hang with Conor Falvey this weekend.
Yeah, so close though, and I honestly, I thought Mika could have had it, but Conor just ended up just having that advantage.
Yeah, and there it is, the biggest battle again, another big battle for him as he took down the one and only James Dean, and James Dean making a mistake on initiation, put two wheels up, almost over-rotated that car. Falvey though, just for me, unfazed by the pressure.
Yeah, I agree, and not making those mistakes. He's aggressive, but in his leads, he's been so consistent.
He certainly has, and then again another battle with a man that's been super consistent this year, and a man that's been really on a charge. Kevin Vasseur been an unstoppable force for some of these drivers, but not to Conor Falvey, as Conor Falvey took him down. Kevin Vasseur, that switch of lead to chase didn't work for some of these drivers, and it didn't work for Kevin Vasseur.
No, not this time, and Conor Falvey's chase has just been incredible, doing things that no one thought were possible, and there it is, the emotions of the young Irishman realizing that he has made his mark in drifting history.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, he sits in the car surrounded by some incredible Irish drift family, some Irish drift heritage down there as he gets relaxed and chilled and told that whatever happens, it's going to be second step on the podium.
Yeah, but for him, that's not acceptable.
That's not acceptable.
No.
He wants that first step. Well, here we go. You can see Kevin Basser making his way to the back end of the paddock. Pavel Kopelinski there in that 2JZ S14A making his way up there as well. The next battle we're going to see on track is going to be our third and fourth place playoff between Nasser Al-Habali and Kevin Basser before we head to the all-important final battle of the day here at Drift Masters, Red Bull Drift Masters, round 3. It's been an incredible weekend, Jacob.
Yeah, that's to say the least. That is the understatement of the year. It has been, from the time I got off the plane to the time that I get back in the air, it has been unforgettable, to say the least.
Yeah, it certainly has. With a massive thank you to Red Bull for bringing out the Drift Pursuit. Those guys having an incredible amount of fun, not only yesterday but today, and giving us the opportunity to see some fresh young Irish faces on the grid in qualifying yesterday afternoon, and unfortunately none of them making it through. But it's so good to see the talent that's emerging in Ireland.
Yeah, there's some names that you're going to see here again for sure, and you know, if you're becoming a big drifting nerd like ourselves, they're names that you just don't forget, because they're going to be in a spot similar to these drivers right now in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, so there we go. Cars warming tyres down the back end of the grid. Nasser Al-Habali in that supercharged V8 Nissan 400Z. The man from El Salvador, now residing in Dubai, is on Dream Weekend right now, and like we say, he has finally found the form in Drift Masters. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our playoff. Well, as tyres are warmed and drivers pull to the line, this is it. One step left on the podium, but who is going to take it? Will it be a man that's already been on there, or will it be a brand new face on the podium in 2026? Nasser Al-Habali sits on the line, ready to do battle. Kevin Basser pulls into that lead position, wondering what he has to do to get that perfect lead and chase dialed here.
Yeah, well, it looks like Al-Habali is going to be the one in the chase, putting Basser back out in that lead run. A quick little tap on the shoulder there. I mean, right now it's going to be that consistency. Just lay down a solid run, forget about the loss that you just came off of, and get back to business. Some of the pressure's off right now, but a lot more piled on. You want to be on the podium, because unfortunately no one remembers fourth.
Here we go, light goes green, they're off the line. Kevin Basser being asked to lead first as he fires down, and you can see Habali onto the back bumper, not giving him room to manoeuvre as they fire door to door over the hill here at Mondello Park. A spot on the podium awaits. They go drop down onto the inside. Habali takes a short line now, finds himself back up onto the door of the carbon fibre BMW. They fire up onto the wall outside zone 6. Habali gives Basser the room to manoeuvre, now dives up to the door against as he pushes Kevin Basser across the line.
Yeah, we're back at it for both these drivers. No love lost here. It's just right into the action. Kevin Basser still running a pretty grippy setup, and a few spots where he wasn't able to make it all the way out to the zones, but Nasser Al-Habali was not phased at any point. Does a great job on that initiation, keeps a good proximity there. Unfortunately, Kevin Basser not able to make it out to outer zone 3 once again. Zone 4 not too bad, but as soon as he gets on the throttle, he's got to work that car to hold it into that zone. Slinging that back out, but man, it's such a fast car. It's so quick, and I think as the heat of the day is coming as well, it's just getting grippier for him. This track's really coming into it.
Yeah, I think Kevin Basser is worried about taking grip out of the car because he doesn't want to be driven away from in the chase position, but unfortunately I think for Kevin Basser he's kind of making his own mistakes. Look, he missed his outside zone 7 as well there, and he's almost straight across the line. Judges will be taking a look at that. He does miss outside zone 3, as you picked up on. There's mistakes there in the lead for Kevin Basser, and I think that's down to the amount of grip he's wound into that BMW.
Yeah, and I think a lot of drivers are kind of on to how he's getting the car set up as well, and realize what they need to do, but we're going to swap it around, and he's going to have a fun time chasing out Nasser Al-Habali.
Yeah, here we go. Light goes green. Nasser Al-Habali comes off the line. In hot pursuit as he jumps straight onto the back of that Nissan and tags him on initiation. Oh, and he forces him off the track. Wow. Wow.
A bit of a body check there. Red flag coming out. What just happened? Nasser right off the get-go had a bit of a jump there on the line. Now, we didn't get a restart, so we're still clean.
Yeah, so judges taking a look back at the replay of that initiation. I'm sure we're going to bring it to you right now as well from our drone. This is what the judges were looking at. Kevin Pascal. Now, did Kevin Basser, come in too hot?
He came in quick, for sure. Now the question is, was Nasser back on? We're going to see if there was a handbrake pull or anything. He's still in the throttle, even though the front end of his car is in the side of Kevin's.
Yeah, and I mean, the front wheel is being pushed round as well, so there's no way for Nasser Al-Habali to transition. Wow, that is an absolute...
Basur not really phased by it, though. He kind of plowed in.
He was going to finish the whole run.
Yeah, if our one of our incredible track marshals didn't do it, yeah. Same, bro, same.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a big one.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out what the judges make of that one, and we can see down there Nasser Al-Habali out of the car, and Kevin Basur, the international drifting hand symbols there coming up and saying, well, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, so we're going to go to our judges after we get our verdict, to our marshals over there, so we're going to find out who takes the win here, takes the third step on the podium of our Red Bull Drift Masters round 3. Nasser Al-Habali looks a little unfazed. He doesn't matter. I think, do you know, he's on such a hype weekend now that he's like, I don't care what happens.
Yeah, you got a bit of time before you got to really get it back on track. But that's a long handbrake, and that's what I'm wondering if they're taking a look at. They want them back on throttle. He's still on the handbrake, and that might be where that decision is made. I mean, Kevin Basur is still on him even before transition. So I will say, Kevin is definitely aggressive. That is, I think, undeniable, but it's so tough.
Oh, it's tough. It's a tough decision.
Really tough.
This is not going to be easy for the judges, and not how we kind of assumed our third and fourth place playoff battle would unfold.
Well, and what's the path? Nasser Al-Habali he's not on that initiating line. He's a little bit off of it. That could be a part of it as well, but
is that before the contact? Now, the judges are looking at the run-up to initiation as well, because Kevin Basur was on the back bumper of Nasser Al-Habali, so I wonder if they're going to take that into consideration as well.
Either way, Nasser's got a little bit of work to do on the front end of that car. Tense moments.
Very tense moments, and I'm watching the judges' replay system as well to see what they're looking at, how this is going to pan out, and you can see all the media down their trackside ready to get that reaction of who is going to take the third step on the podium here at Red Bull Drift Masters round 3.
A big shout out to all of our media people for bringing all these images to you, as well as all of our track workers. An incredibly difficult job, and they do an amazing work keeping all the action going.
Yeah, and it looks like there is going to be a little bit of a repair there on the front end of that car for Nasser Al-Habali. Here we go, slide them left for Kevin Basur, right for Nasser Al-Habali. It's going to be Kevin Basur taking third step on the podium here at Red Bull Drift Masters round 3. Unbelievable drive this weekend, and it looks like fault deemed for Nasser Al-Habali. But we're going to go to the judges, and David Kalas, you deemed that Nasser Al-Habali's fault.
Yeah, everything comes to that point where Nasser was on the handbrake just to the guidelines, and that's way longer than we wanted to see it. Because of that, Kevin's car was pulled in. That's why, from my perspective, he had a wrong position and why he headed Nasser.
Thank you very much, David, and just clarifying that, Jacob, yeah, you could see it when we took a look back at all those replays, and you spotted the handbrake.
Yeah, just a little longer than what it needs to be, and that's, I mean, the benefit of having all these camera angles is one might not tell the whole story.
It's time for the final, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the history books could be rewritten here this weekend at Mondello Park. The Red Bull Drift Masters round 3 stop has been nothing short of electric. It's been a movie, as we like to say here at Drift Masters, and it's time to see who will stand on the top step of the podium. Pavel Korpolinski has come so close many times before, but Conor Falvey has never got this far in competition before here at Drift Masters. This is uncharted territory for the young Irishman.
Yeah,
the nerves in the car are unbelievable.
This is big. This is big for both of them. I mean, a top step for the first time is massive, but the weight of your entire country in the grandstands, that's pretty big too.
It certainly is big. The light goes green. They're off the line. It's going to be Pavel Korpolinski to lead out Conor Falvey as they slam through the gears. Look at Conor Falvey on the back bumper. It's a mirror image initiation as Falvey goes close down to outside zone 3. The transition was absolutely spectacular spectacular from Falvey as he jumps up onto the door of the Polishman once again. They transition for 5. They look back towards the wall as Korpelinski puts it right to the edge of the circuit. Conor Falvey looks for the door and across the line.
A mega run from both of them. Absolutely perfect from both of them. I mean, Conor Falvey, again, going for that tandem initiation, just staying on the door through the high-speed section of this track, the most dangerous part of this entire facility. And look at that, full commitment all the way through. And there, oh man, Korpelinski though, his lead is phenomenal, and that gives the opportunity once again for Conor Falvey to just go in and be mega when it comes to his aggression. Both of them have everything dialed in at this point.
They are absolutely in the zone. There is no splitting these two guys. The surgeon out front, Pavel Korpelinski, put down a lead line that Conor Falvey could get so comfortable with. He could trust him. He knew exactly where he was going to go, and he knew what he was going to do inside the car. And look at this from Falvey. Cool, calm, and collected. The nerves of the whole day have been shaken off because this is it. This is the highlight reel moment for him. Doesn't matter what happens right now because he's going to take home a podium step. The champagne will be sprayed everywhere, and he will have a trophy to take back home this weekend.
Man, this is wild. This shows you how far drifting has come as well. This is a dream for Irish drifting fans 15 years ago to see something like this, to see tandems like this, to see just wow, crazy it is. Look at this, 3 rows deep of Irish drifting fans, the who's who in Irish drifting history, all in one spot, cheering on the young Conor Falvey.
Well, here we go. Conor Falvey sits on the line, and now Pavel Korpelinski asked him the question, what can you do in the chase? But now, what can you do in the lead? What can Pavel Korpelinski do against the young Irishman? They come off the line for the final time here at round 3. Smash through the gears as Falvey fires it in and hammers on the throttle. Korpelinski goes deep. He mirrors Conor Falvey as they fire through. Korpelinski on the back bumper. They jump into outside zone 4. This is absolutely phenomenal from these two drivers as Falvey now fires into the final outside zone. Up to the wall he goes. Korpelinski onto the door and across the line.
I don't know how we decide. I have no idea how we come to any sort of conclusion with this.
Wow.
This is just mirror images of these runs. This is a battle of attrition, and both drivers are in perfect form in their lead, in their chase, in everything that they're doing today. We are all blessed to see a show like this. Look at it. Look at how close Falvey is to all the zones. And I mean, Korpelinski, he's there the entire time. He's not backing down. He's got the same proximity all the way through. Conor Falvey just on it. Doesn't lift. Full throttle all the way through. Great transition. Man. I don't know what else there is to say other than drifting is in the best place it's ever been.
This certainly is. And Drift Masters once again provides some of the greatest drifting we have seen across Europe, across the world, because right now we are witnessing history here at Drift Masters. One of these guys is going to stand on the top step of the podium. Will it be the first ever time for Pavel Korpelinski? Will the young Irishman do the homeland proud? Whatever happens, he's done the homeland proud. But right now he hopes that he's done enough to get himself onto that top step. But that was mirror image, lead and chase on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, splitting hairs is an overstatement because I have no idea which way this goes.
Well, I'm not sure the judges do either, and it looks like they may have made a decision as those guys are down their trackside, they're out of the car, and it looks like a decision is going to drop in. Who's going to be the winner of our Red Bull Drift Masters round 3 here? Slide them left for Korpelinski, right for Falvey. It's going to be Pavel Korpelinski. Pavel Korpelinski wins round 3 of Red Bull Drift Masters 2026. Conor Falvey takes second step on the podium. The Irishman gets his first ever podium here at Drift Masters. It may not have been the top step, but what a drive from Conor Falvey. But this man, the surgeon, has been absolutely phenomenal, and he finally did it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is not the end by any means. This is just the start for Conor Falvey. I mean, this is the first of many podiums for him, and I'm sure in very short order we'll see him on the top step.
Look, we call him the surgeon, and this weekend, Pavel Korpelinski has been more than clinical. He has been untouchable. Pavel Korpelinski, ladies and gentlemen, gets his first ever top step on Drift Masters podium, and what a moment for him.
Yeah, absolutely incredible and well-deserved. A tough battle, and I really do think it came down to inches.
Well, Becky's down there with him. Korpelinski's with Becky Evans.
Congratulations, Pavel, your first ever win in Drift Masters. How are you feeling right now? That was a hard-fought battle and an amazing show put on.
Oh yeah, the final battle was out of this world. I'm gonna be all in tears very soon because it's so emotional. It means so much to me. It's my first ever win in Ireland at Mondello Park. I never got out of top 8 here before, and I've been here many times already. So yeah, I can't even describe what I'm feeling right now. It's a dream come true. That's how it feels for me right now.
Pavel, you're continuing on the success. Obviously, you as a Polish man stood on the top step last year, and you're continuing that legacy. That must be a good one to take back home with you.
Oh yes, definitely.
Well, Pavel, congratulations, and we'll see you the next round, but go celebrate.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you, Ireland. You're awesome as always. See you next year.
There you have it, guys. Our winner.
There we go, our winner, Pavel Korpelinski. You can see what it meant to him. And 8 years of coming to Mondello Park, and finally, Pavel Korpelinski gets his top step on the podium. David Kalas, we're going to head to you. An absolutely unbelievable weekend of drifting here at Mondello Park. And that battle, it all came down to Pavel Korpelinski.
It was an amazing battle. From our perspective, both drivers are winners, but only one can take the top spot. And if we look on their run, Pavel was having very good lead. Conor was also having very good lead. He had just small mistake with over-rotating at the end of outer zone 4. And then we're coming to the chase. And on the chase is the place where it was decided, where Pavel was able to get proximity with less compromises. That means that he was cutting less the track to keep the proximity, and he was able to put even more pressure on his leader. So that's how he got his win.
Well, thank you very much, David, and thank you to all of our judges, David Kalas, Tormo, Rasbo, and Chris Witowski in the hot seat once again. We're going to see those guys in Finland back for another round of Drift Masters in a few weeks' time. And this is our final results list. Pavel Korpelinski takes the win here at Drift Masters on round 3. Conor Falvey takes the second step on the podium. Kevin Purser rounds it out in 3rd place. Nasser Hawali in 4th. And then we go, the order goes tumbling down. And these are the points that these guys gain from this event as we move through the order. As you can see, some big names in there tumbling down, and still points earned for some of these drivers this weekend, and those all-important championship points all go towards those championship standings, which we will see an updated version in just a few moments' time, and we'll see who is leading the championship, who has moved in the championship, and how the championship looks. Yeah, and there we go. Look at this. Sophie Insek all the way down there. Only 16 points gained in. Conor Shanahan only 24 as we go all the way through to 32nd place. Dylan Garvey with 16 points, and Kareem Harney getting these points as well here at Drift Masters. We really want to see those all-important driver standings, and there we go. Pavel Korpelinski jumps ahead of Conor Shanahan. Pavel Korpelinski sits in 1st place with 223 points. Shanahan in 2nd with 219, and James Dean climbing up the order to 215 points. Our top 3 now completely mixed up. Korpelinski does it, puts a Polishman at the top of our driver standings here at Drift Masters in 2026. And we can see Conor Falvey jumps himself up into the top 10 in the championship standings as well, with that incredible 2nd place finish here today. Well, up next, we head to a brand new track in Finland, and we can't wait to see those crazy Finnish drift fans. Well, for the last few years, we've visited this track, the Power Park in Finland, where not only is it a roller coaster on track, but it's a roller coaster off track, where championships have been cemented and new winners have been crowned. But this year, it's a brand new circuit, untested for a lot of these drivers. It's going to be an experience for all of us as we head there in a few weeks' time. But from me, from Jacob Gettins, from Becky Evans, from everybody here at Drift Masters, we'll see you in a few weeks' time in Finland.